Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show live here on YouTube. My name is Leon Jones. I hope everybody is doing well on this Hump Day Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. Now, let me take care of some house cleaning items before I get going with this stream here. First of all, when it comes to the panel, I'm going to have six at the most at one time. I like it that way because I can control it better. And in the chat, make sure you spam everybody's channel up. In fact, I've already spammed my channels up. And speaking of channels, I want everybody to get the likes up on these videos. I also have the poll numbers up as well. Keep an eye on the poll because I want to see where you are on this topic. Also, check out my second channel, the QCIS channel. On that channel, I give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you're not familiar with the QCIS channel, that is formerly the Mind of STEM channel. The only thing that I did was change the name so I wouldn't get copyright infringement. So I used my own logo. And by the way, that QCIS logo is also trademarked. That's my logo that I created. Now, without further ado, I want to get into something. Hey, Samantha P., how you doing? What's going on, Men's Daily? I want to get into something that's really bothering me. And it is the violence. Now, I live here in Indiana, and I know what's going on in other states. But in the last 2 years, I've seen a rash of violence. And this is not your ordinary violence. I mean, certainly you have your burglaries. Those are crimes. You have your domestic violence. That's violence. But what I've been seeing is a rash of shootings. Now, I know there was another shooting in Buffalo, New York. I don't have a lot of information on that. It was at a top store. I know it was in a black neighborhood. And my condolences to the victims. You have some crazy people out here. And this is why I tell everybody to watch your surroundings. Now, since 2020, since the pandemic, I have seen the rash of violence go up. Now, here in the state of Indiana, I live in between two cities, Indianapolis and Chicago. Now, Chicago, I used to live up in Northwest Indiana. It had numerous shootings. I mean, Memorial Day is the next holiday, so the tallies are going to be high on that day. 4th of July, when it gets hot. But now you have cities here in Indiana, like Fort Wayne, South Bend, even here in Lafayette. Violence is getting outrageous. Now, for black people, and I want to tell you this, you need to start looking at the Second Amendment because there's going to have to be a day you need to defend yourself. Now, many individuals in the African American community do not believe in the Second Amendment. However, going back to this incident that happened in Buffalo, yeah, it's a damn shame that happened. And individuals are going to be outraged because it was a white guy that did it. However, I don't see anybody crying out for what's going on in the black neighborhoods for my own people, black on black crime. And I've talked about this for years. crime is crime. Violence is violence, no matter who does it. Now, the media likes to spin everything to make it look like it's one way crime, white on black. No, you have black on white crime, you have white on white crime, you have black on black crime. Now, when it comes to violence, and for you youngins who call people like me old, anybody over 40 or 50, some of you may not even make it to 30 based on your attitude. Some of you are going to die tonight. Don't want that to happen, but it's going to happen because you have a number of individuals who are irresponsible. Now, environment plays a big part of it. When you don't have men in homes who should be leading their homes, and you have the women who are in the homes, well, women are very emotional, and many of them are off their rockers today, and that's women of all races. The feminists in their policies have really brainwashed women. So for the most part, that's a washout. Unless we exterminate all the women now and get new ones up here who have a brain, then we're going to keep going down the same road. And also the government has incentives as well. They encourage this behavior because there's a lot of money flowing around. And I can remember going back to the Sandy Hook incident in Danbury, Connecticut, back in, I believe it was 2014. And Danbury, Connecticut is a nice area. But the mom had issues and the son had issues. The son killed the mom first and then went into an elementary school and killed a number of young individuals. We've always had a small amount of crime, but we've never had stick-ups like we do now. Usually just do regular car theft, no gun. Well, that's true, Samantha P. Now you have carjackings with guns. And I'm going to bring up some information about some shootings in my neck of the woods here in the state of Indiana. And I live here, and this is a relatively conservative state. Now, the funny thing about it is a lot of your crime is not having places or taking place in the conservative areas. It's in the big cities. And the biggest city here in the state of Indiana is Indianapolis. Then you have cities like Fort Wayne. You have St. Joseph's County, which carries the city of South Bend, Indiana. And you have Lake County, Indiana, which has Gary, Indiana. Now, I'm saying this because you hear a number of liberals in this country who want gun control. Well, the criminals don't care about gun control. They're outlaws like Jesse James was. These individuals are going to do what they want to do. Now, a number of these guns that these youngins are getting are illegal guns. And the guns are coming across the border. And then we also have a rash of illegal immigrants coming into town. Now, when it comes to the violence, I will say this. The individuals may not be from your part of town. They may come from somewhere else, like the shooting that happened here in my city of Lafayette, Indiana. Let me go to a news clip to show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go to my Chrome tab and I'm going to read it to you. And this
I'm going to go to my Chrome
is,
tab,
hold on for a minute. Okay. This is taken place or just took place. And Tommy Jean got this from my area, and this is here in the state of Indiana. Now, usually I don't see this in the state. Now, is there crime here? Absolutely. There's crime everywhere here. But 2 days ago, we're talking about the 16th of May, and this is from WISH TV8 in Indianapolis. A wave of violence that saw 7 shootings in less than 24 hours began Sunday morning and stretched into Monday, just after 2 p.m. Now, the IMPD, which is the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, was called into Community East Hospital after a person with a gunshot wound walked in for treatment. Yes, Sandy Hook, Connecticut was back in 2014. Yes, I just mentioned that. That is correct. As I continue with my story and this is from Wish TV. Now, going back to what I said here in the state of Indiana, I've never seen too much of this. Now, also, I was living in Northwest Indiana and I was getting Chicago news. However, the same type of violence that you see in Chicago is happening all over the place. Not just here. And again, check out my poll. Has there been an increase of violent crimes in American cities and towns? Right now, I have 6 votes, 83 yes, and 17 no. Now, the question is, what are we going to do about all this crime? What are we going to do about it? My answer is I don't know. I mean, we can have the best politicians in office, but in the end, you have to look at what's going on at home. Again, these kids are getting guns. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of fast money going on. And with the fast money going on, you have a number of individuals out here who they don't care. They don't value life. And I've always said when it comes to life, you only get one life. So what you do with it, that's what you do with it. Now, going back to the Buffalo situation, unfortunately, you have individuals, and there's no excuse for it. There was no excuse for what happened in Columbine. I know students get bullied. I know students get angry. I know students, they're aggressive. But this has happened in all generations. This generation is no different. But too much crime brings down the property value of your neighborhood. Too much crime also gets people to move out of the neighborhood somewhere else. This is what happened with what they call white flight from Gary, Indiana, to now a town that came of existence in 1971 called Maryville, Indiana. Individuals want to move where it is safe. But even in the small towns, there's trinkets of violent crimes going on. You may not have the murders, but you have individuals that are bringing guns, and you have individuals who are moving from the large cities into the smaller towns. And some police forces, they may not be equipped to handle big time crimes in the smaller towns because they don't see any crime. Most of them just sit there and give tickets. That's how they make their money. But when it comes to violent crime, and I'm more concerned about the homicides than anything. However, when it comes to being a victim because of someone's anger, that's a problem as well. Now, again, back in the 80s, Ronald Reagan shut down all the mental hospitals. And there are a number of individuals who should be in those mental hospitals. And I can remember it was last week or 2 weeks ago, some woman shot a 17-year-old in the face on I-20 in Atlanta. And the reason why I'm talking about these crimes is because you have many people who shouldn't be handling a gun. Men's Daily says the documentary Bowling for Columbine about the high school massacre shooting by Michael Moore is an example of how random people with psychological problems can get access to guns anytime. Facts. Facts. And I've already dropped the link, so anybody wants to come up, we can talk about this. I'll drop the link again in the chat. And shout out to Men's Daily. But with everything that it is worth, we need to value our lives. Now, this is not a kumbaya moment because you're going to have crime no matter where you go. Now, my advice to anybody who's going out in the street, and yes, there's another one I have to mention. There was an incident at a Milwaukee Bucks basketball game. I believe the game was over. And I believe 20 people were shot. Now, don't believe me entirely on that. That's what I read. And I don't believe everything I read. But let me put it in this term here. Or put it out like this. There was a shooting after the Milwaukee Bucks basketball game. I mean, we've had that violence not just at schools. Waffle House has had that violence. There's been violence in churches. I remember the Dillon Roof, but also remember that individual in Texas that shot 26 people. Now, again, as we look at the crimes, and I'm just going to be honest, when it comes to these shootings, it is a lot of white men who are doing these shootings. These are the individuals who are going in, they're upset, they'll shoot innocent people, and then they'll shoot themselves because they don't want to deal with the consequences in jail. Now, with the black-on-black crime, it's just a lot of gangs, a lot of drugs. But regardless, this is what's going on. And we are not being careful about the situation. Now, again, for black people, salute Brother Nate. What's going on, brother? Hey, I dropped the link, brother Nate, if you want to come up. But going back to this Buffalo shooting and the Second Amendment. And black people, again, too many of us believe in Jesus, and there's nothing wrong with believing in Jesus. I believe in God, but too many of us are too magical with that. Believing in Jesus is one thing. However, when it comes to what's happening in our communities, no business, no economics, low property values, high crime, nobody wants to move there. Welfare state. And these are areas politically that are run by Democrats. And for black people, I don't even know why you keep voting Democrat you're going to be poor. Now, I'm not saying the Republican Party is great. Neither party is great, in my opinion. They've all been bought and sold, bought again and sold. Everything is about money. And this is also part of the culture war that we're having. Salute, Brother Free Zone. So when you are looking at the violence, you're also looking at the gender war. Now, do you know here in Indiana, there was a judge, it's a federal judge, who allowed a transgender student back in the school. Can't remember what county it was. It's here in Indiana. And this is why I don't like having women in power. They just don't make good decisions. You remember that incident that took place in Fairfax County, where a transgender person sexually assaulted a 15-year-old in the bathroom, and nothing's been heard since then. The father got arrested. Now, me, you would have had to put me in jail, because I would have flam blasted that son of a bitch. Mess with any of my children, my partner. That's bullshit. But you know, you feminists out there, you vote for this stuff. And it's going to turn on you one day. I hope it doesn't happen, but it will. Brother Men's Daily says there was also a recent shooting in California with an Asian shooting at a church, and at the same time, the Buffalo shooting occurred. Look up the recent California shooting as well. Is it a copycat that Buffalo happened after California? What's going on, Brother Truism? There's a lot of copycats out here. And as men, we got to get on the horse, and we need to do more than vote. Shout out Hood Serve, Asian Shooters Matter. Everybody in the chat, like, share, and subscribe to Hood Serve, and of course Nate Dogg 74, and I believe Truism might have a channel out. I've seen him on Bernard Riley, and shout out to Free Zone Lou and Men's Daily channels. I believe everybody is wrenched up in there. Hey Gerald, what's going on? But going back to violence, I'm just disgusted that a number of black people here don't believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Second Amendment. And you know, many of you brothers out here handling guns, you don't even know how to shoot a gun anyway. You've been watching too much television. First of all, you don't handle a gun like this. That thing will kick back and knock your head off. You got to study with that thing when you point it out. That's your problem. You've been watching too much TV. That's why you can't hit anything close up. You need to get out to the range. We'll see a lot of individuals carry guns because they can't fight. Now, it used to be when I came up, the worst thing that people use, they used the baseball bat, razor blade, but rarely ever used the gun. Now, you may have had some that used knives. However, violence is violence. Now, I believe you have to defend yourself, and sometimes you have to go to the nth degree to use greater force than what your opponent put on you because you want to take him down or her down. And of course, now you have a number of women who are carrying guns, and you can't give some unstable person a gun, man or woman. That's true. Shout out to Brother Nate. They seem to be pretty good at hitting small black children or elderly people who can't defend themselves. Do you notice that as well? These individuals who are pulling out guns, and now there was one incident in Virginia Beach, and I believe it was a black man who was retiring or he got fired from his job. He went back into the Virginia Beach City building and shot up a few people. Now, in Annapolis, Maryland, and I used to live in Maryland, right near my credit union, Navy Federal, it was the newspaper building. Somebody shot somebody. What's going on, Anna? Yes, those straight bullets can be accurate. Yeah, they can be. I believe individuals need to go to the range when they're shooting a gun. Again, I want you folks to like, share, and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show. The link, I have dropped the link. I'll drop it again because this is information that we need to talk about today. And not a lot of people are talking about it because it doesn't mean anything to them. But I always go out every day and I go to work. Brother Nate goes to work, and I'm sure the people go to work here in my chat. And some of us don't have our eyes open. We don't pay attention. You have to be aware of people around you. In fact, Tommy Jean sent me something else where I believe a person was shot here in Indiana for trying to help somebody. This is why I don't help anybody on the side of the road. If they run out of gas, they're not getting it right. Guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to hoof it. I am not putting anybody in my car. They're not going to hold me up because in Chicago, you have a number of carjackings with a gun. And for these individuals who call themselves criminals, I will tell them something. They will go and steal something very small. And I did a video on this a long time ago about criminals. Some of you brothers who are out there jacking people, don't be a criminal. Please don't be a criminal. Because you're not good at it. You're not good at it because you don't know how to be a criminal. You'll go into a 7-Eleven or a Burger King, stick up the cashier for $20. Now you got a charge. The gun you got, it's illegal. Now you got another charge. Then you kill the potential witness. Now you got another charge. So you got a life sentence for petty theft. I actually have a question. Why is there, or why do you think there's an increase with adult children living at home? That's a good question. Well, number one, I believe mommy doesn't want to be alone. And number two, a lot of mommies, and most of the mommies have the children, they're very permissive. This is like the smothered situation. These children haven't been taught how to go out and make it on their own. Now, there are some individuals who have two parents who are living at home. Some of the parents don't want to let their children go. And they give their children free reins until they're ready to go, but they're never ready to go. And these children end up living off the fat of the lamb. So it's a different situation. But for the most part, I see the mommies don't want to let the children go. They don't. Shout out to you, Jenny B. Good evening. But we do have a cultural war going on in this country. And this is what's stemming some of this violence as well. Social media. And do you know on television, if you continuously watch television, you see a lot of murders on television. And you have individuals who believe that they can go and perform what they see on television. The income is stagnant. Everything else has picked up. Now, in 1980, you could pay for a 4-year degree on an average of 2 paychecks, raise a family on minimum wage. Yeah, that's part of it too. But also, you have a number of individuals who don't understand economics and are living well above their means. And you also have the type of job that they're getting. Is it unskilled? And when they go to school, is their degree worth the money? Hey, shout out. I'm glad your brother made it through boot camp. Shout out again. He's a Marine. Good for him. And grown children, if you're out there, I want you to listen to me. You know how to get out of the house and become self sufficient, and you have a structure and you get benefits, join the military. You get a good job, you get exercise, you get food, you get health, you get rank and responsibility. And then when you come out, you will have the benefits of being a good soldier, a good sailor, and a good airman. Now we'll get into the military in a minute. Well, I'll tell you right now. If you go to the military, keep your nose clean. You can't get fired from the military, but you can get a 45/45. And again, if you look at the show Smothered, because I'm going to go back and forth with these topics, Smothered will tell you why you shouldn't deal with individuals with grown children living at home. Now, shout out to Men's Daily. I'm one of the only ones who has actually brought that up when it comes to dating. Many individuals talk about single mothers, but when it comes to the what I call the son husband, the sister daughter relationship, don't do it. It's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be a waste of energy. I'm not going to play it here on my channel because I don't feel like going through the nonsense of YouTube putting a strike on my channel or me appealing the video. What up, Devin? What's going on? Long
How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
What's going on? And
Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. You got a good topic tonight, man. Crime is going up. A lot of people are committing stupid crimes for stupid amounts of money. And, you know, a lot of the Democrats are loosening up on crime. So a lot of the petty crimes are not being considered crimes. And now there's a lot of mob activity where the little kids, you know, somebody will coax a bunch of kids that are under 18 to do some crime and, you know, to go and mob a store, right? Break into a store and smash up, you know, do smash and grab, right? It's getting pretty bad, man.
Yeah, and well, I know the smash and grab that's in California,
Yeah.
but even here, there was a person that was delivering pizzas. $20 you carry, and a woman shot him in the face.
Oh, man.
And it's here in my town of Lafayette, Indiana, and you know we have well when you combine Lafayette and West Lafayette together, it's getting there. It's relatively 122,000 people. It's a college town. Purdue University is here, but that kind of mindset where you believe you can commit a crime and get away with it. This is during that Joe Biden era because in the last 2 years, I've seen a spike in crime. I've seen a spike in gas prices. I mean, I've never seen 459, 479 here. I've definitely seen a spike in grown children living at home. We have a culture war and we have a violent country. And when criminals are allowed to get away with murdering, and I know Tommy Jean calls it the purge, and she's right. That's what the purge was about. I didn't even know what it was until she told me what the purge was. But that's what's happening in this country. You have individuals being shot by BB guns here. Yeah, two Purdue students got shot with a BB gun, and let me tell you, I've been shot with a BB gun. And those things hurt. Okay,
Oh yeah, yeah,
it,
especially pellets.
but
Yeah,
you have a number of people, brother Lockett, that I don't know what it is. I don't, I can't blame it all on the background where they come from, but social media has played its part because they're children with two parent households and they're still committing the same types of crimes. And let's not forget that just because you got two parents, um, you got
well,
a lot.
that's because the ignorance has become generational, man. And it's gotten to the point that even if a kid has a father present, he could have a father and a mother that were both raised without a father, and it's been broken. That chain has been broken so many generations back, 2 or 3 generations back, that even if the father's present, he's not a good influence.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a fact right there. And too many of us black people, and I brought it out, we just don't believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Second Amendment. I'm telling you, somebody comes up here and I had something. I hope the individual is ready to go to hell because I'm gonna put him there. Coming into my house, trying to mess with me and my family.
Yeah. Oh man, it's sad. Yeah, no, man, it's really sad. I'm wondering what's going to happen now. With this last attack. Up in Buffalo, because it seemed like a designer attack, man, like a designer false flag. I mean, this guy's got this manifesto. A lot of it is plagiarized from another white supremacist manifesto that was published in New Zealand years ago. Um and with the added twist that not only is he a racist white supremacist, but he's also anti-abortion. That's kind of strange that particular subject would conveniently come up during a mass shooting. You know what I mean? At this time in history, if I didn't know any better, I would suspect that maybe somebody was trying to garner black votes, was trying to muster up black votes.
Now, I understand, and I don't know everything about it. Brother Nate is going to do uh, and shout out to Brother Nate. He's going to do this Buffalo shooting on his channel tomorrow. I
Okay.
just heard that it was individuals from 32 to 86 that got killed. Maybe it was 10 people. Uh, Now, in this one, the suspect didn't shoot himself. You know how these other crimes came? The person shot himself so he would avoid jail time, so he wouldn't get ripped up in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have a lot of these individuals out here. Uh, Thank you, Nate. 10 dead, 3 injured. And you notice, and I mentioned it before, they're always going after people who can't defend themselves or who won't defend themselves. Now, you walk into a grocery store. This is why I look over my shoulder, and I'm not paranoid, but you have a number of individuals out there that they have some mental problems here. We need to bring back the mental hospitals. Unfortunately, Reagan got rid of those back when we were in our 20s, brother Lockett. I believe that was the wrong move. We got too many people running around, and we got well, you're in California, so you
Yeah.
know the illegals population has crept up. And I am not against immigration. I'm against the criminals coming over here, bringing that criminal element to the criminal element that we already have here. And what that's doing, it's creating more and more unlawfulness, disrespect for life. And individuals might sit back and call us old, but you know what? At least I'm happy to have made it this far. Some of these individuals may not even make it to 20.
I know, man. A
Little.
lot of young people. A lot of young people. Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, we've seen the best of life and the best of the world, and there are some pretty powerful medical and scientific breakthroughs happening here recently, coming up on the horizon too. So some people anticipate that the life expectancy is going to be 150 pretty soon.
150, like 150
150
years.
years, yes, sir.
Well, the way these individuals are going, they might not even make 20, brother.
Well, yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder about that jab, right? That kind of makes you wonder what that jab was all about.
I want to. That's a greasy topic to talk about. We'll just call it the jab. Maybe that jab does have something to do with altering the behavior.
Of course.
I mean, you think about it. How many people have perished from the jab?
Well, maybe Kevin Samuels.
And the Red Bull. I did a video on those energy drinks.
But he was, from what I understand, he was jabbed and boosted.
You know what? That's a
heart attack.
You know what? There are a lot of things going on that we should know from this jab. And also, it's not just the jab. What about the medicines? There are a lot of people who are, in my humble opinion, over medicated.
That's right.
Medicines, and when you mix medicines, that could cause a lot of side effects.
That's right.
The first thing I tell individuals to do is don't get yourself put on a lot of medicines.
There's a classification called maintenance drugs now. So what they do is they don't expect you to get well from the medicine, and they don't expect you to ever stop taking them. So now I guess your body is just supposed to be dependent upon these chemicals that they produce. I think that's probably the biggest psychological operation, the biggest psyop that this whole pandemic and vaccine thing really was trying to test out in the global population, right? How many people were willing to accept hearing that your body, as God created it, is not good enough to survive on planet Earth, and you need to have this concoction of experimental chemicals shot into your body with no repercussions if anything happens to you, right? No way to sue anybody or anything. And you must participate in this big, massive experiment with everybody. And now we have athletes dying of heart failure. We got to tell the truth, man. I mean, I just lost a brother, man, to a cancerous tumor that I don't think would have even arisen if he hadn't been jabbed. But I can't say.
Big, he was a weightlifter, about 44, named McMillan or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Stocky, and he was 44. And black men, we got to take care of ourselves. And on the panel is brother Little Big Nate.
What up, Nate?
What's going on, brother? How y'all doing, man?
How you doing, brother?
Doing well, man.
Now, brother Nate, what do you got to add? I know you got some strong. Got me and brother Lockett up here, and I know you're going to talk about the Buffalo shooting tomorrow. And everybody, could you spam brother Lockett's channel and brother Nate's channel?
Thank you, sir.
In the chat, brother Nate.
Yes,
what's going on with all this violence here? Me and brother Lockett know. I mean, I just read an article from my hometown of Indianapolis about. And there's more out there. There's more out there.
Yeah, the left believes you can legislate away the hate. It's so stupid. This guy drove, I believe, 300 to 400 miles. This supposed white supremacist drove between 300 and 400 miles and targeted that community because he knew they were unarmed. He knew you cannot have a handgun in Buffalo, New York.
Well, that's
You're
facts.
not allowed, and you're not allowed to carry one on your person. Why does the left want black people and especially poorer people to be so defenseless?
Well, I'm just going to give my opinion. It's all about control, brother Nate. You see, when you are one who does not have a strong belief system in the Second Amendment, you become very gullible to what somebody else says. Look what happened to Jim Jones in Guyana. Those individuals didn't read their Bible and 900 people perished. When you start to believe that the government is God and you believe that and you follow it, something disastrous is going to happen. And what's
Absolutely.
happening with all this violence going on, it's number one, silly. Number two, it's actually getting out there to people who can't really defend themselves, like your elderly people and your children, because I've seen a lot of children or heard a lot of children on it. Not seen, but heard a number of them. And you've done reports.
Infant children, like 2, 3 years old, catching bullets. Yeah.
Coming through the windows of the houses and coming into the house,
Exactly.
coming through the walls sometime.
Children got to go to the bathtub when the shooting starts outside and shit. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Mom doesn't move them out of this community. She doesn't even worry about FBG Duck's mother lived in the same place for a couple of decades.
And she had 10 kids, and half of them
Lost all 5 of her sons.
5 of her sons
Violence.
Yeah.
to
From
gun violence.
Amazing, dude.
Over
And then what do black people in this country do? When we need protection, more than anybody, usually at the hands of each other, of course.
Ask for gun control.
We not only do we ask for gun control, we tell the police to hell with them. We demoralize the police. We say we want to take away their money and their pensions.
Defund them. Yeah.
We're going to defund the police. Great.
That's ridiculous.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Finding out that defunding hasn't worked.
Well, and we need them more than anybody. I mean, unfortunately, we need them. We need them to protect us from the members of our own community, whether we want to admit it or not.
Fortunately, that is true.
Yeah. And so, and really, when you think about it's really more of our elderly people and the people that are more susceptible to being the victims of attack because they may look like easy prey, and this is what I really don't understand about the left. What about the LGBT? What about the alphabet community? They are also subject to hate crime. There are a lot of people hate them just because of who they are. So why would the party that advocates for them the most try to disarm them?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Michael Moore, the documentarian.
Oh, yeah.
Has armed security that travels with him everywhere, but doesn't want you and I to own guns.
Yeah.
Of course. All these Hollywood elites.
Leftist thinking, liberal. Yeah, man. Yeah. Elites. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Hollywood elite thinking, man.
Now, I'll tell you what I believe it is, too. You have some people like Bill Gates. They want basically to decrease the population.
Where right.
You have a number of individuals up there who are beneficial when they have skills. The ones that don't have skills are the ones that are leeching off the system.
The worthless eaters or the useless eaters.
Useless eaters.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what they really want, but they're not telling us that. And this is why we need people like us to report this. But with all of the children, I mean, I have read it. And I mean, in Chicago, a child gets shot as they were going through the drive-through of a fast food restaurant in Chicago. And I'm going to tell you, I live about 2 hours from Chicago. And let me tell you something. I get worried around this time of year when it gets hot. Niggas get hot. The shooting gets hot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, we're going to see now Indianapolis. Okay, we get there's shootings here, but 50, 60 shootings Memorial Day weekend. That's the beginning of the fireworks. And it's
Wow.
going to get hot here. LA, I know Brother Lockett lives out there. It's probably already hot out there.
Man, we had a shooting in this area. I'm not even going to say the area, but in this very area nearby last night. Last night, the red and blues were lighting up the street. Yeah.
Imagine if 3 of those elderly brothers in Buffalo would have had firearms on their hip,
Yep.
disciplined, trained men. They could have extinguished the threat, reduced the loss of life by at least half, if not more, and
He
laid
would-
that motherfucker out.
Yep. That's the problem. He went to a place that was manufactured for it by the left.
Absolutely, dude. They want black
Sitting
people,
ducks.
poor people, defenseless
Victims.
But
That's what they
you
want.
got people, and you had a brother on your panel, well, in the chat, brother Nate. You know who I'm talking about. It sounds like he defends this behavior. You going at him.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we have men that are still on the plantation, and it's not like we encourage people to become Republicans. This is not a tit for tat political party thing. This is about what is in our best interest, and what man doesn't believe being able to defend his labor, his what he's produced, and his family isn't of the utmost importance. And there are states that absolutely deny you the right to do that. Illinois is one of them. Fucking
Oh.
Chicago. All the criminals have guns.
Yeah,
Leon.
the problem is, Nate, all of them from Chicago, they're coming over here into this red state of Indiana, and they're bringing that crime with them.
Mm.
Now here in Indiana, since this is a red, and it's a heavily red state, they may have a little bit of fun, but they'll be off really quickly here. The government is pretty good here. They're going to take it for so long, and then they're going to cut it out. But when you live near Chicago, there was even something that went on down there where you are, Nate, in Columbia, South Carolina.
What happened?
I think there was a shooting down there too in a shopping center a couple of weeks ago.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It happened 2 or 3 weeks ago in Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, I guarantee you, if you go to Harris Teeter, it's a supermarket down there. You'll probably need to take off your shoes to count how many pickup trucks have shotguns in the back window. I'm serious. These folks down here don't play, dog. These white guys will die before they give up their guns. 100% are prepared to die, man.
But
You ain't
it's
taking these boys' guns from them.
and I in Indiana, they got them too.
They ain't play.
Well, it's the black, because I've never heard of it. It's just like that church down there. Dylan Roof ran into that church down in South Carolina.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He would have never have done that. And you notice this is happening in the urban areas, because I know in the
Yeah, but in South Carolina, there's still black Democrats. Keep that in mind, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And in California, where Brother Lockett lives, there's quite a few Democrats as well. And I don't know why the Democrats believe that they cannot be off it either.
But in all honesty, the elite Democrats know that incidents like this present them with a great opportunity to, just stir up the racial shit and have black people angry and mad and, have them out there marching, and all this other nonsense, instead of encouraging, arm yourselves, learn how to use a firearm, protect yourselves. That's
shout out to Brother Trey in the building. But with all this going on here, and it's going to get worse, and there are other things that are contributing to it. Now, the $15 an hour that the Democrats propose. Okay. Now let's be honest. You got people paying $15 an hour, but here's what's happening. You still have people who say they can't find work.
Chick-fil-A in South Carolina starts you off at $14 an hour.
There's about 15 here, and nobody wants to work.
See, you see, the minimum wage is actually a very racist law, and people don't understand that. The minimum wage has always been a very racist law, because what you really do, when there was no minimum wage, the black unemployment rate was always lower than the overall unemployment rate of the country.
Really?
And yes, and when you look at the industries that are allowed to ignore minimum wage, like in agriculture, you go to a vineyard, for example. You're going to find guys that come across the border fresh and they're working here right now. But you're going to find about half of the staff are the cream of the crop of the guys that have come over many years, and they've proven their worth basically, and they've risen up to a higher than the minimum that's being paid to everybody else. That's just the way it is. And if you have to hire people and you know you have a minimum salary that you have to pay them, then you're left with the choice of reading resumes, which resumes don't really tell you everything, and they don't. And degrees don't tell you anything either.
No,
So you ended up taking a hardworking guy who's probably more qualified and is probably going to really bust his ass to help your company out. And you're not hiring him so that you can hire some overqualified guy because he has a degree, who's going to sit around in your business and not be productive because he thinks he's got a degree and he can go somewhere else. And he's not going to respect the job you gave him because you're paying him the minimum, regardless of whether that minimum is $15 or even $20 an hour. That's just a scenario that happens. Meanwhile, we still have droves of illegal immigrants that come here, and that is not in our interest as Black Americans, that come here and take all of these jobs that are blatantly ignoring the minimum wage. If we did not have a minimum wage, then people can just work for whatever they're willing to work for. That would balance itself out with the natural law of supply and demand, and they would have no incentive to come here because we would be just as competitive in all of the industries that they come here to work for as they are to work, because there will be no minimum wage. That plus finishing the wall will help the immigration problem. Secondly, we have been manufactured by the left to be a race of employees without even thinking about ever being entrepreneurs. And as an entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you something, man. I know that I can personally get a group of people together, and I may not be able to pay them $15 an hour at the very beginning. Plus, like here in California, having to provide them with retirement and health care and all the rest of that shit. But this is preventing us from getting businesses started, small businesses. You see, and it's saying that the only people who can employ are Starbucks and you know, is big enough with the big corporate. See, this is what the left does, man. They widen the Gini index. They widen the gap between rich and poor. That's what they do. And they make it so that, yeah, you're demanding for a higher minimum wage, but that's because you're only going to ever see yourself as an employee. You never see yourself. They don't want you to even think of yourself as an entrepreneur. They don't even want the Black community to have that level of empowerment. So if you're thinking about ever being an entrepreneur, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you're voting for a minimum wage or raising it, or even the existence of minimum wage.
Well, Black people cheer on the idea of taxing our most productive, our most innovative citizens into hell.
That's right.
I'm an auto damage appraiser. These body shop guys make $500,000. I know guys that make $1 million a year. And you want to tax these men into hell. You want to take all their I forgot the name.
Their sweat, their labor,
not discretionary income, but their extra income,
the profit.
Yeah, you want to bleed them. Why would we cheer? Why are we listening to a killer Mike who's encouraging us to vote for Bernie Sanders, who wants a 90% tax rate? Who in the fuck is going to take the risk to become a successful business?
That's the point.
That's like 90% of my shit. Are you
Right.
crazy?
Right.
Yeah,
So basically, either be a government employee or be an entrepreneur and be an absolute slave to the government.
or yeah. And next, just been joined by Free Zone Lou. Welcome to the chat, brother.
Free zone.
Hey man, what's going on? What's going on, y'all?
What's
Salute
going on,
Nate,
brother?
salute Devin. 411, what's happening?
Hey, what's
I,
happening?
I think the craziest part about this is that these people ask for this stuff.
Yes,
Like all that's really happening is that people are getting what they want.
mm.
Yeah, but somebody's getting screwed by people getting what they want, and it's us four on the panel who are working.
That's it. That's it. People want something for nothing, and they've been manipulated into really thinking that that's possible, that there are free lunches. But the only way people can get free lunches is if you take from people who are making extra lunches.
Listening to grown men talk about free healthcare, free daycare. The people actually work for free? Do they? The nurses, the doctors, the janitorial staff, the HVAC guy, all of them work for free?
They want us to
Wow.
work for free, Nate. I tell you.
If healthcare is going to be free, I would imagine that's how it works.
Yeah, thank God
Trust me, man.
for tax loopholes. Shout out to Trey on that one, and shout out to Be Easy. Haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome to the
Oh,
chat.
what up, Be Easy? Good to see you, man.
But here's what we got. And Brother Lockett just said something that I never ever thought of with this minimum wage. Now that's going to stick with me for a little bit. That they want us to stay an employee. And got my man Teapot.
Uh-oh.
Good brother Teapot.
The brother.
Peace. What's good? Brother Leon? I see my brother Big Nate up here. What's good,
yeah.
brother?
I'm coming to get that 50 cal.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey,
If
You
you
have
need
to
it,
put these
you
guns
need
off
it. I
the
got
street.
you. I got you if you need it. You already
I can
know. I got you.
imagine somebody coming up, knocking on Brother Xavier's door, demanding his handgun from him. I can
Yeah.
only
You
imagine.
know,
Good luck with
you
that.
know? Yeah, good luck with that. Plus, even if you snatch it, I got the 380 in the sock. So I can do a lot of snatching.
Those handguns kill people, Xavier.
Yeah, I know they do. Mines haven't, though. They're very well behaved, I guess. They're very well behaved firearms because so far they haven't killed anyone. But I got my fingers
Wow.
crossed. Fingers crossed, my
Amazing.
brother. Fingers crossed.
Amazing what a fire how safe a firearm is in the possession of a disciplined, law-abiding citizen. Didn't cause
Absolutely.
any
And,
problems.
here in North Carolina, you can wear it on your side like Clint Eastwood or
Yes,
Charles
sir.
Bronson or somebody.
Yes,
So,
sir.
That's it.
Constitutional carry in South
yeah.
Carolina now. Yep.
When you run up, you already know what you're up against. You see that cold steel before you even get to me. So, you kind of
That's
know
it.
what you're up against. So, no surprises. This what you're dealing with.
Everybody in the chat, could
You can read the agenda.
Imagine 3 of those men in Buffalo with the mindset and the armament of Brother Xavier.
Yeah, man.
That
Yeah, man.
motherfucking body armor ain't doing shit against a 50 cal.
Absolutely not.
That's it.
Go right through
You're
you
doing a
like a piece
goddamn
of paper.
thing. Brother Xavier
piece
would have
of
laid
paper.
that motherfucker down like that.
Golf
Mhm.
ball size holes in you, man.
Yeah.
Golf
Yeah.
ball size.
Plus I bet I'm willing to wager that Brother X moves like a person that you probably don't want to fuck with anyways. Like criminals aren't stupid. Like they know that person that's walking down the street, like, okay, that looks like a good target. I don't think Brother X sets those alarms off when he's
No,
when
absolutely
he's walking
not.
around.
Because I don't trust nary Negro anyway. I don't trust nobody. So
Now, isn't that something we can't trust anybody who looks like us? So that's crazy. Shout out to Awesome Alice in the chat, and anybody who has a channel, spam your channel in the chat. Big Nate or Nate Dog 74, Brother Teapot, Free Zone, Devin Lockett, they all got channels. See if you can put their channels in the chat. Get over there, like, share, and subscribe. You want
Thanks.
some good racial stuff? Go to Teapot every Saturday. Nate is on every Tuesday, Thursday. Saturday and Sunday Free Zone is also on, and Brother Lockett is
Yes.
also on as well. And we got the heavy hitters here in the house. And Brother B Easy said it was mainly elderly people that were killed, and they were killed because they didn't have anything to protect themselves. They were defenseless, and these gunmen are cowards.
The guy said it in his manifesto. He targeted that community of people because he knew they were unarmed.
Yeah.
Outside of
Yeah.
Sandy Hook, they had a sign. This is a gun-free zone. Yeah.
Mass
Uh-huh.
shooters welcome, huh?
Yeah. Great.
Well,
Yeah.
New York, I'm a native New Yorker, so you know how it is in New York, brother Date. I mean, the gun
Yes,
laws are like ridiculous out there, and it's crazy, right? The place where they have the most stringent gun laws have the most violence.
The
Isn't that
most
something?
violence. Yeah.
Isn't that something? The most gun violence happens in the places where the gun laws are really, really tight, and you got to jump through all these hoops and do all this kind of nonsense to get your hand on a gun. But those are the places where the gun violence is the worst. That's where the most people get killed and all that kind of foolishness.
Yeah, like Chicago. And I
Yeah.
live 2 hours from Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, if he was down here, he might have got maybe shot a couple of people, but everybody down here got a gun, so you'd have caught some bullets coming back at you as soon as that first one went
yes,
off.
Lord.
Hey,
Yes, Lord.
you wouldn't have been able to kill all those people.
Nope. Soon as
Absolutely
one or
not.
two dropped, he would have dropped.
Oh yeah, because everybody walk around with it on their hip. Everybody ready. They ready for action, man. And guess what? When people in these places where they have these stringent gun laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people who are doing the most damage with these guns, it's not like these people are going through background checks
No.
or these are responsible gun owners. No, man, these are people who are buying guns out of the trunk of somebody's car. I mean,
illegal guns.
yeah,
They're all illegal.
Yeah.
these people, man, people who are responsible gun owners don't walk around, man, doing drive-bys and robbing liquor stores with them.
Hell
They just
no.
don't.
No,
Don't, man.
they don't. And Samantha P says it doesn't help the cause to target elderly people. They've already had children and lived their lives. Zero logic. Well, when
What
you're a coward, you're always going to find somebody that is much easier to take out because it's no challenge and it makes you feel good. That's what cowards do. That's what cowards do. Yes. Put all your channels in the chat. Shout out to Alice. Yes. Criminals don't care about the law. We all know that. Until they run into some people that will challenge them. Like a bunch of white boys here got some guns here too. It is us blacks. Well, not us here on the panel, but most of these blacks don't believe in the Second Amendment. They believe in Jesus, white Jesus at that.
The government that
Not
hates
the
you,
white
the government
Jesus.
that is plotting against you, the government that intends to do all this harm to you, but supposedly is the same government you look to for all the answers. Wow. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Brother B Easy said something really interesting. He said they got hella guns in the hood, but he chose to go to a grocery store. Yeah. Why he ain't running to one of those hoods with it? Started shooting at folks.
Yeah, go shoot at the GDs and vice lords and shit and see what happens.
Yeah. Why you didn't do that? Because he would have been carried out of there. They would have been carrying him out.
Well, that would have been something good that they did in the hood besides shoot each other.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. But it's crazy, man, because when you're talking about places like Buffalo, man, those places are riddled with violence anyway. I mean, it's not like this is it's not Peaceville up there to begin with.
But it's a white person that does it, X. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Has Black Lives Matter picked it up yet, or what's going on up there?
Well, they got that controversy where they found out one of their top leaders gave her baby daddy $1 million, and
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
brother 2.1
Yeah.
million.
I will be speaking upon it tomorrow. That's tomorrow's
very
stream.
good.
Yeah,
We'll
she
be
was trying to
talking.
trying to turn it into family money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna and you coming through too, right, brother Free Zone? So I'll have Free Zone there, A Truism,
Yeah.
and whoever else want to chime in.
Let's see if I can
We're
come
gonna
through
go
there.
through
I'll
it.
come through there, brother Teapot.
Yeah, we're
411,
going
we
to go
gotta have
through it.
you, bro.
We're
We
going to
got
break it
have
down
you.
bit by bit. I have quite a bit of information that we can go through and break it down bit by bit, piece by piece. That's why I titled it "Black Greenbacks Matter." So
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Getting ready
Yeah.
to come with the fire. And shout out to brother Teapot. No, Black Lives Matter, I guarantee, hasn't and it will not pick it up. And for all the elderly women who were killed, where the feminists at? Where the black feminists at? Where's Brittany Cooper? Huh? Somebody tell me
They
where
are
she
awfully quiet.
Hey, where's CNN? They're really trying to spin this hard by
Well,
making
it's a white guy.
Yeah.
Now, I know, and I'm not talking about all black women, but there's a portion of black women that don't believe white men do anything wrong.
the
So
divestors.
yeah, and the swirlers and stuff. So I mean, maybe I'm sure they wouldn't have a comment about it. To be honest with you, I heard there were black women on YouTube blaming the incident in Buffalo on black men.
Well, how would he
What's his
do?
name? Red Supreme did a stream about that this morning.
Yeah, he did. I heard.
Yeah. Black
Wow.
women blaming the incident in Buffalo where several black men died on black men. Interesting.
how's that correlation made? How was that leap made? Exactly?
Dude, they don't. There doesn't have to be a correlation. Not one that's logical. These are divestors and swirlers and the bitter black bitch brigade. So
It's because people are being radicalized because they are emotionally unhinged. Shout out to Alice. That is true. They need to be back in a mental institution. And we welcome he's another brand new subscriber of mine. He's got a channel and he's a MGTOW guy, Men's Daily. What's going on from KC, Missouri?
how are you?
All right, what's going on, buddy? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. Shout out to Clue.
What's happening?
Gun violence here, especially what happened in Buffalo. We got some heavy hitters up here, and I know them all. And how's all the violence? You got any gun violence out there, Men's Daily? I mean, I just named some here in Indianapolis. I mean, they're all every weekend they're coming up.
Yeah. Well, out here in I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. And let me tell you, I'm gonna put out a full disclosure before I say what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
Is number one, I'm anti-gun. I am 100% against guns. Okay, I got my reasons why. I'm not a right-wing wacko, and I am not a left-wing / SJW supporter. No, here we're not here, far from the home of Harry S. Truman, which was in Independence, Missouri, and I consider myself an independent person. Okay, but that's enough about the politics. But let me get down to the meats and the potatoes of things, though. Thank you for bringing me on the stream. I wanted to address what I was talking about in the chat. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened was years ago, I wrote. There was a book article I wrote about the. This was back in college, y'all. These are like in my super blue pill days, and wrote about the Bowling for Columbine shooting, man. And they asked me to critique it, give me my opinion, things like that. This was in English 101. For you guys who never went to college, they had a course called English 101, English 102, whatever. But in that documentary, to me, that really gave me an actual realization, i.e., some type of red pill revelation that it told me how bad the gun control is and the gun violence is. Because, like I said before, you got people out here with psychological problems, right? That's easily getting guns left and right. I've actually seen it right here on 40 Highway, man. We were having a discussion about it, by the way. There was a mentally retarded guy was able to go inside of a gun shop. And then, remember, this gun shop actually refused absolute normal people. Okay, he refused for whatever the reason may have been. Mentally retarded guy went in there. Only thing he had to do was pretend that he was normal, walk out with like a Glock 45, and then soon he came out, and everybody was shocked. Right? They were like, "How the hell he get a gun, man? That guy's unsafe." And he walked out and he said, "I got my shit. I got my shit." Started taking his gun and shooting it up in the air. Doom, 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 doom. I got my shit. I'm telling you, it is real. I tell people this, and this is my opinion. Some of the pro-gun guys who love their guns and pistols, right? Some of them agree with me, some of them disagree with me. But here's the fact. It takes almost 5 to 10 years, man, to get Social Security benefits, okay? All right? It takes anywhere from 2 to 10 years to get an actual degree, depending on what type of college degree you're trying to get. Why can't guns be on that same level where there's an extensive evaluation to prove that you are responsible, rather than take your word for it? Well, that's them, but I'm not that type. Just take your word for it. You go in there, buy a goddamn gun, and then we don't know 5 years, 10 years down the road, hell, maybe the next day, you just decide to go ahead and shoot up your family. You just decide to kill people, you know? When you if you guys can go look of what happened in Florida, right? And I've seen this happen with children many a time. The little toddler that grabbed that gun, right? Just found the gun and everything, right? Boyfriend was gone, mom was there, and took the gun and shot the mama. Boom, blew her head off on a Zoom video live on Florida. Yes, I've seen this stuff. And then there was the incident that was here in Kansas City where one of my cousins, he's one of those, I'll tote my strap everywhere. His little girl found his gun, went in there, right, and blew her own brains out. Okay. And then last but not least, another toddler, right, same type of environment, found the gun again. And then after that, another gun actually shot his son by the little kid actually taking the gun and blowing his own brother off, right? Done, over with. You see where I'm at? I mean, I see it all the time here in Kansas City, you know. Someone got sirens in the background. But
I'd like to address it when you're done.
I've actually seen, and then I see guys, and I tell them, I said, well, why come? Why come, you know, that they're not held at that level? Well, they should put guns up. They should be one responsible. No, they should prove that they are responsible. They should prove that they are psychologically sane. I've seen on the Undisputed channel, go to Undisputed, right? With the I think his name is Dr. Richie, and he said on there, right? He got on there tons and tons of police brutality videos, right? Of the police officers, the sheriff's department, state troopers. They're hiring all these people, right? Not going through an aggressive psychological examination to see if these people are examining. No, just hire them. And then after that, they go gun happy. They pull a lot of blacks over. And a lot of the blacks who don't have any guns, they wouldn't harm a butterfly or step on an ant. They figure, oh, well, since I got my authority, I got my gun, no psychological evaluation, I'm going to shoot that guy. Don't believe me? Look at the Ahmaud Arbery case. That's a very good example, man. The Ahmaud Arbery case. It just shows you. It shows you, right, how unstable this country is to actually give access to the gun to anybody. Now, I'm not shaming the guys who are responsible. If you're responsible, okay, fine. My argument is that what can we do to actually make sure that if the responsible people don't suffer the ramifications, what about those people who are psychologically unstable? What about those people who actually are careless with the gun? Hell, I had a guy had to put out my house, man. He came in here and his internet was down, man. I put him out. He came in here and he said, can I use your internet? I said, fine. He needed to find a job. He used my internet. This guy took his 45 and put it on my microwave. And I said, I paused, shut everything down. What the hell are you doing with this gun in my house? Well, this is to protect myself. No, you don't come in my house with no guns. Absolutely not. If you need to protect yourself, man, you need to go ahead, man, and carry it on you if in the event, though, right, that you know that you're going to run into a situation. But you can't have this in my house. I'm sorry. It's disrespect. I got a little girl here. She just turned 13 years old. I don't condone that type of behavior. So I had to put him out, That was it. End of discussion or whatever. He got pissed off because he said, well, when have you get shot? When have you got? I said, listen, sir, I'm in my late 30s. I walk daily with no strap, no gun or anything at all. And I wouldn't have lived this long on this planet, right, if I took the precautions that I done. And that was I limit, as a red pillar, I limit my interactions with certain people. That's number one. Number two, you cannot stop destiny. You can't. It is impossible. If you're in a position where you get in that car today, you don't know if someone's going to hit your ass. You do not know if it's going to break down. Hell, you don't even know, right, if you're going to have a heart attack driving down that road. You do not know. You can't stop destiny. If it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. Okay? But I do give kudos to those people who are responsible, who keep their guns in their household and only use them, though, when the time is right and not when the time is inappropriate. There's too many kids getting killed out here in Kansas City, right? And also too many police shootings. I see this stuff all the time. And I thought for a long time in my blue pill days, it was just happening here. No, but when I've seen this stuff happen in Florida, little children grabbing the guns, man, grown-ass people grabbing these guns, it is sad, you guys. But yeah, but the Bowling for Columbine shooting, in conclusion to the California situation and also the New York situation, is a prime example, right, of how people with psychological problems and people who are unstable can get access to guns with no problem.
All right. Would anybody like to address with brother? Because I'm a guy. I believe in the Second Amendment.
I'd like to address it.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, and no disrespect, man, but a lot of what was said is hyperbole. First of all, there aren't this multitude of police killings. In 2019, 235 black men were killed by police. That's not some epidemic of police shootings. 99% of police interaction with Americans doesn't involve any kind of violence. Most police officers never even shoot their service gun. So stop. We have to stop with the hyperbole and the nonsense. It is tragic if a child finds a gun and harms themselves or harms someone else. That's absolutely terrible. You don't take away other people's right to defend themselves because we have some irresponsible gun owners. Do you know what happens to countries who take away their citizens' gun rights? Just look throughout the history of Eastern Europe. Tens of millions of people killed by governments after the guns are removed from the citizenry. It's insane. Pointing to a couple of incidents where people are harmed by the misuse or mishandling of guns should in no way, shape, or form negate the fact that there's more guns than people in this country. And you, in all honesty, you rarely hear about people being harmed when you compare it to the number of the population. There's over 350 million people in this country. And there's approximately, I think, 30,000 gun deaths every year, which is horrible and tragic. A significant portion of those are suicides, number one. Number two, the only people that are going to have guns are the criminals. The criminals don't care what a guy like you thinks. They don't care what you say. You're not going to cajole or guilt them into not having their firearms. They prey on people that don't have them. They prey on people that can't defend themselves. For every incident you talk about where a child might lose their life, and again, it's a tragedy and it's terrible, there are hundreds of incidents where people defend their homes and their lives and their families with a firearm. They run off potential assailants. They run off criminals because they have a gun. And you want to negate all of that. Dude, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I'm sorry, man. I gotta
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You're
brother.
good. That's what I was finna ask, man. Like, cause I know, salute to you, and you got a 13-year-old girl. Like, somebody run up in your crib with something. What is the plan of action? You just accept the fate for you and your family?
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Minsdale. He's Brother Free Zone is asking you a question. When somebody
Well,
walks,
here's my thing. Okay, what is the probability of that happening? Because I'm gonna tell you like this, and I've seen this so much violence in my place. It's crazy, man. My own neighbor, she was getting her ass beat, man, by her kid's dad, right?
mm-hmm.
And it was me and a buddy of mine. I'm a domino and a chess player, by the way. I play a lot of it, okay? And so one day we're out playing dominoes, right, having a great time, barbecuing, all this shit. And she ended up, man, coming to us saying, man, hey, how you guys doing? And her lip was broken, eyes was fucked up or whatever. And we were like, well, damn, should we go over there and beat this guy's ass or whatever? And she was like, no, I'm done with him, whatever, right? We were like, oh, you sure? Yeah, you don't look good, right? Because she had 2 little boys, okay? And so it was like 2 days later, man, we went to the bus stop and we got on the bus here. We got like parking ride station where you can park your car and get on the bus. We get on the bus and there was this news article on the news, man, saying there was a woman in her late 20s that actually got shot and killed, man, by her ex-boyfriend, by the kids and everything, man. And the first thing that happened, man, was, why in the world, though, are people like this, able to get access to the guns, knowing that this man had a history of beating the fuck out this woman? He beat the living shit out that woman, man. Not once, not twice, man. We're talking multiple times. And I'm her neighbor, I'm concerned, and I came to her, hey, should we beat the guy? Should we handle this situation? Now, I wasn't the only neighbor. There was a couple neighbors. Now, that's just one incident, okay? I mean, I can go on this stream for hours and hours of different types of situations, But, to answer your question, man, I'm going to say it before and I'll say it again, I'm not shaming those who are responsible. No, kudos to you. If you're responsible, if you haven't let your kid find a gun, if you're not carrying your gun around and flaunting it around people, to say, hey, I got a gun, don't mess with me, kudos to you. You understand? Where my problem comes in is that why in the world is there so much easy access, though, to the point that the wrong people that shouldn't have guns have access to those guns? That's my part. You understand? I'm a single father. I got custody of my daughter since she was 1. Okay. Wow. Took her mom to court twice, All right. That's a whole nother ballgame. Okay. My method works for me. Okay. I limit my interactions with certain people in my life. I try to keep positive, like-minded, uplifting men in my life and women in my life, are very supportive, very encouraging. That's my method. Now, it may not work for you or the next thousands of millions of guys. But for me, though, right, I didn't need to have a gun back in my day and today to prove who I am. Okay. I'm old school. I believe in this. Okay. And I believe in what the Asians believe, too. And that is that you got a problem with me, we can handle it outside. Okay. I'll whoop your ass. You whoop my ass. Right. But at the end of the day, after the ass whooping, we got the one thing that we have in common. And that's what? Our life. Okay. We will walk away. This is back in the day. Now we'll walk away, beat up or whatever. We'll be disappointed. And then like another day, couple years, whatever later, we'll meet each other again and handle it out again. Were there guns at those times? Of course. But they weren't as high as the capacity today, man. I got a buddy of mine now that I play dominoes with, and he works for special forces for security, man, in the government. Okay. He carries his gun on a regular. And he tells me right off the gate, man, I only carry mine when it's necessary because I'm responsible. Okay. I don't carry mine to flaunt mine around or to tell people what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, premeditated, none of that crap, And those are the type of people that I condone myself to be around, are responsible individuals. A lot of these individuals, like I said, again, they have psychological problems. A lot of them are irresponsible, and they make those who do hold guns look horrible. Just like there's the 1% to 2% women out there, right, who are really good, really feminine, really submissive, really cooperative. The women who are actually making these women look horrible, and they're masculine, they want their way, and all this stuff. What I can go down the road about female nature, but that's not the point. The point is that it takes that percentage of people who are doing bad, who are making you look bad, to make the majority of those people look bad. That's all I'm saying, man.
No, my only response to that is you have every right not to like guns, not to want to be around them. Nobody would deny you that right. It's just the problem. People that think like you think you have the right to take what belongs to us from us through draconian gun laws. And again, guys that think like you never address the fact the criminal always has the guns. The people in Buffalo died because they were defenseless. Like I said, if two of those black men had the mindset and the tools that Brother Xavier has, Brother Xavier has talked about his 50 cal, that dude would have been laid down, done, finished.
Yeah.
Got off a few rounds.
Unless he shot me first, I would have had to be the first one he shot. If I wasn't the first one he shot, he would have got shot. I mean,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He would have got shot.
The answer is guns in the hand of disciplined, trained, responsible, primarily men.
Now,
because in the South, everybody has guns, and we have the lowest crime rates in the country in the South. Lowest crime rates.
It's pretty low here in Indiana. I believe what brother Men's Daily is saying, and this is me, and correct me if I'm wrong, brother. You're not shaming people like me and the rest of the panel who believes in guns. You're just advocating that it's not for you. So you're not, when you talk about pro-gun control, you're not talking about the leftist stance of pro-gun control where they want to take the guns out of everybody.
Thank you for clearing that up, 411. Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think the other gentleman, he misinterpreted what I was saying. That's why I sat back and I just listened. But I'm thanking you for clearing that up. No, I'm not a guy of the pro-gun control, none of that crap. Whatever. My whole thing is I'm more of the responsibility and character. Okay, because there's those individuals, out there, right, that have psychological problems. Have you seen that guy who actually killed his kid's mom and his kids because she kept keeping the kids away? And he actually got it on camera, man. It was on YouTube. That stuff was sad, man. He killed his kid's mom, killed the kids, and then blew his brains out. Black man. You understand? Now, of course, like I said again, you're like people like me. No, again, I'm gonna make that cleared up, sir. I'm not a left wing, okay? I don't believe in that gun control or any of that crap that they shoot out. No. What I believe in is, though, if you're going to have a gun, at least show some responsibility before you can actually have something like that in your hand. Because, like I said, again, I got buddies of mine who actually hold guns, okay? They hold all types of guns, okay? They do. We play a lot of dominoes together or whatever, right? And I make it clear to them, and they agree with me, because they look at it this way. I'm a responsible individual. Plus, on top of that, right, I work in the special forces of doing this. So why not a situation occur where if a new person comes on saying they want a gun, why just take the person's word for it and give them a gun, right? Why not just have them go through some type of evaluation to prove that, hey, man, you are, because so many people can say, take my word for I have a gun or whatever, right? Okay, but how do we know you psychologically fit, man, to possess something like that? You understand? That's all I'm saying.
I don't think anybody gets background checks
But thank you for clearing that up for me. I appreciate that.
Well, can't that
I don't have an issue.
about a lot of
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, brother X. Go ahead, brother X.
About a lot of things, man. I mean, 10,000 people die a year from drunk driving. So do we take those 10,000 people and say, well, 10,000 people have died this year from drunk driving, so let's regulate cars, let's regulate alcohol. I mean, 650,000 people die every year from obesity-related things and heart disease. Do we regulate food now because so many people die from obesity? I mean, where would it stop? where would it stop, man?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Where do you draw the line? You can't say, okay, we need to control more guns because so many people are dying. Yes, a lot of people die from guns, but guess what? I will say again, some of the biggest, the largest numbers of gun crimes take place where gun laws are already strict as hell. They're
That
strict
is
as hell.
fact. New York.
So making those gun laws stricter isn't going to change anything. It's not going to change anything, man. It's not.
And
It's not going to change a thing.
a lot of those areas are Democratic areas. Look, I'm from the city of Baltimore, and there's a hell of crime going on in the city of Baltimore, Chicago, D.C. I mean, living on Brother X is from New York. I used to live in Staten Island. Staten Island wasn't as bad, but when you got over there to what is it, Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Jamaica, Queens, and what is the other place? South Bronx, and
Yeah,
New York
man.
City.
Port Apache, the Bronx used to be crazy when I was growing up, man. I mean, it was like freaking Beirut over there, man.
And then,
You
and then
kidding
in
me?
Philadelphia, I mean, I went to school at Temple University, and that's nothing but straight hood back there. And
Yeah.
So,
Well, Buffalo isn't far from that. I mean, Buffalo's been it's been chock full of violence, man, for 20, 30 years.
I didn't even know anything about Brother X. I didn't know too much about Buffalo.
The only I do. The only place that's decent is like if you're like in like the Williamsville area, you're over in that area, it's a little different. But I mean, all those other places over there, man. I mean, you don't want to be caught dead in some of those neighborhoods, man. I mean, those neighborhoods are very violent. Very violent.
Let me get to the chat. Samantha P says guns in a home should be held in a safe place. Not only were they allowing guns in the home growing up as a child, but I was taught from a young age to respect and fear holding a weapon of my own. Shout out to Alice. Yep. Never tell the plan on defense. Always hold the ace in the hole. Also, there was never any open access to, hold on, let me get this out of here. Okay. All right. Samantha says there was never any open access to weapons in my home growing up, and it isn't in my home now. I've been shooting with my father since I was 7, and again, I was always taught to have the utmost respect with weapons, and well, that's a good thing. Shout out to Sexy Red TV, pulled through. Shout out to Brother Guy King, he pulled through. The end game is for the American public to completely be unarmed and right for invasion or oppression.
There you go. And under that scenario, I would rather the retarded dude have a gun than not.
Yeah. Well, brother Leon, I gotta jump off, man. I gotta stream in a little bit.
All right.
I got a debate tonight. Hopefully y'all come down through there, man, around 9:30. We're debating black heroes tonight. Were they a benefit to us? Brother BMT is squaring off with Brother Cool Kamasi at 9:30. And tomorrow, like I said, we'll be breaking down Black Greenbacks Matter. We'll be talking about Tameti, colors, and I forgot the other chick's name. But we'll be breaking it down tomorrow. So everybody come through, man. I'll see y'all brothers on the other side.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Got my boy the big dog. What's up? Trey is in the building. Go ahead, Trey. I know you got something to say, bro.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What up?
What's up, man?
Chilling. Man, no flamethrowers today, man. No Flammenwaffens today.
All right.
Just
we know you got something up here.
Yeah, man. Look, man. Here's a problem I see with a lot of folks that come from the Black community who live in this thing which I don't know, don't exist, never existed up until this point. This thing which the left has created called the Black community. It expands from the lower 48, Hawaii, like Alaska, all around the world. This whole made up thing called a Black community. But for some reason or another, in this so-called community, cats are killing each other at a rate of 7,000 a year. And you know, my brother, like my man, Mr. Gigi, you know, like Nate said, no disrespect, but man, Pook ain't putting down them guns, man. Pook fitting to do whatever with them guns. He gonna run up in there. He gonna run up and try to run up in your spot. Eventually, try to catch you slipping. This ain't the Pook of old when we was coming up that knew that he would get handled.
The
This new
respectable
Pook,
poop.
yeah, there's no G code anymore with this
Right.
Pook. None. So he gonna do what he gotta do. So look at here. I mean, y'all saw my comments on the screen.
Oh, I saw.
Old girl lost her life and did all this stuff. And I ain't simping for no woman in 2022. Mess around and get clapped. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
What did she do? Why is a chick with a dude that beats her ass? You know, with all the resources out there with women, she could disappear. We know they can call the law on us and get a dude locked up for decades easily.
Yeah, true.
She knows she can call some cousins, little Pook cousins, to come through and do a drive-by on that dude. If a woman is staying with a dude beating her ass and he eventually gets around to killing her, look, man, it's on her. You know what I'm saying? The staying part is on her. The killing part is on him. It sucks for the kids, but them two adults, fuck them. And then this other woman talking about, you know, I don't know if it was the same woman that you take a man's kids away. You playing with fire. You are playing with straight fire. You start playing those fuck games with men, taking their kids away, then start playing all these games. Hey, if my wife hangs with a woman that's doing that shit, I'm like, no, stay away from her. You ain't going around their house. She ain't coming over to my crib, because who knows what's on that dude's mind. He can be like, hey, man, that bitch over your crib, son, bet. Man, I'll be like, girl, get the fuck out of here. Your man ain't coming over here to spray up my crib.
Yeah.
Because you keeping them kids from him.
Right up.
Man,
yeah. I agree 100%. 100%. 100%.
And I think another thing on that side too is that we need to bring back harsher sentences for criminals. None of this signature bond shit. None of this, because the secret's out. These folks know that they can commit crimes and nothing will happen, which only further incentivizes more crime.
Yeah.
Oh, facts. I heard my man bring up Ahmaud Arbery. If sentences was real, Ahmaud Arbery would have been locked up. He wouldn't have been wink jogging that day. He would have still been locked up for his previous crimes. If he would have got a hard time for his previous crimes, he wouldn't have been out there all geeked up. You know what I'm saying? Running around the neighborhoods. He probably would have got out and done something productive with his life. You know, but here's the deal. I know this is harsh, but if a couple criminals got to get dealt with, I don't give a damn about criminals. Once you make the choice to be a criminal, you chose your fate. You decided that one day I might be on the opposite end of Trader MBD's twin 40s. One day, because, you know, if that had been, let's take it a step further with Ahmaud Arbery. If that had been Trader MBD's empty lot with a house going up and I would have shot him, and I never would have made the news. I would have got an award.
Oh my God. Hey, let me ask you this question. I don't know how old you are, but do you remember the Zimmerman case?
Yeah, man. I'm 47.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What's your opinion about that situation? They were talking about it really big on the Michael Bazin show back in the day when Michael Bazin was on live on Magic 107.3. But
nigga brought up Michael Bazin.
Yeah, Michael Bazin.
God damn, boy.
Yeah, just like way back in the day, man. I don't know. That's what I say. I don't know how old you guys are, but
he was on WDAS when I was in Philadelphia, man. So I know who he is.
There it is.
Yeah, he said, I know.
Yeah, man. We know about Bazin.
Yes, we do.
You with Trayvon Martin, man. You know,
Trayvon Martin. George
the left played their games with the media, and this is, you know, when I was like still in the military and didn't really pay attention to this stuff. And I asked my mom who to vote for. Didn't ask my dad. Dumb me. I asked my mom who to vote for. Hey, mom, what's going on with this stuff? Oh, tune in to MSNBC. Look at CNN. See what's going on. And I'm catching that side of it. But then when I get out the army, I'm like Khalid Muhammad. You tell me all my life that the white man is the devil, and now I'm the truth. That no, it wasn't just Zimmerman that night. It was daggone Trayvon too. These dudes was scrapping for their lives. Bad meets stupid, and bad won that day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a Hispanic guy, Samantha P, that they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like either way, Trayvon Martin was not the angel that that little 8th grade picture was painting out to be.
Well,
there was
his mother certainly was a little off her rocker too, bro.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was living with his dad, and unfortunately, he spent too much time with his mom with all them emotions to like, hey, my dad, what's dad gonna say? All right, there's this daggone neighborhood watch guy harassing me. Let me just play it cool. You know what? All right, dude, sit there, do what you got to do. All right, cool. Call the cops. Do what you got to do. Police show up. Hey, call my dad. He lives right up the street. And then a dad will come out there and handle business.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's the women, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't taught.
He didn't have enough masculine energy. That's right.
Facts.
Well, that's the problem in today's generation. There's not enough masculinity, and today's generation, those taught to keep the man out of the household, while the woman just rakes in that cash and those government benefits.
And that's the problem, because we're one
children in her business as well. This is why I said at Men's Daily, you already know when I talked about the grown kids still living at home while they're yeah.
That's a very hot topic. I'm glad you're going to touch on that today. And man, oh my God, if you guys do not go to this man's older videos, man, you guys are doing yourself a disservice. Go to his old videos. I love them, man. Hands down. I was new, greener than the grass outside. I went to the old videos. I'm like, what? And he's touching bases. Like I tell these guys, you can go into Google, do a search on YouTube, right? And you could type in "don't date single mothers" and here's why, or "don't date single moms," right? Or "why I hate dating single moms." You'll see thousands and thousands of videos, right? And majority of the time, majority of us guys are talking about the little kids, the teenagers, right? Majority of the time. But he touched bases on something that a lot of us don't always touch bases on, which is highly important. And that's the grown ass kids that with the single mom and how the potential stepfather got to deal with it or boyfriend got to deal with it. That's real.
Oh, I'm sure. Trey had some stuff back in the day too, man. Some Trey stuff.
Yeah, man. I took it down. I took a lot of it down, man. May 20th, my strike is up, but I'm gonna put it all like the members only, man, because I'm getting away from this stuff, man. It's a waste of time, man. It's not. I'm stressing myself. With the self-help, trying to show brothers the right way. Because regardless, man, we over here telling brothers, like, regardless of how far right you lean, if you moderate right now in 2022, if you moderate to far right and you out here preaching a good message, you're going to get shadow banned somewhat. They don't want this message to get out right now. Our fearless leader, KS, was the devil himself, according to mainstream media. But if you are telling black men straight up that hip hop culture ain't the way, dating single moms ain't the way, dating fat chicks ain't the way, freaking being the man of the house ain't the way, having a woman that'll stay at home, and not want to be out there working for the man ain't the way. No, man, you get shadow banned. We're misogynists. We're white supremacists in blackface.
Of course. And that's why, us from the MGTOW community, SYSBM, and us Red Pillars, we're number one on the chopping block, man. They do not want males finding out the information.
I gotta ask you all this. Now, I sound a little ignorant. I know Mad Bus Driver brought it up. Give me something on what is really the SYSBM community. I know Mad Bus Driver started it. I still have no idea. I know Brother Guy King did.
I used to rock with him. And Sigma Jones, man, he's part of the crew. Save yourself, black man. Basically 23 tenets, man. Shout out to Babatunde Amana over there in Jessica X land. Wrote these tenets. I know he'd be mad at me for saying that because he can't stand Jessica X. But tenants, basically the most 23 tenants, basically stay away from niggas. Basically, is the most important. And bro, it's a movement. A lot of people get the mistake that the movement is about getting with white women, freaking getting out here traveling, being a groomer and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the women, it's just choosing a viable woman who's complimentary to you and ain't on that bullshit. If you just happen to get lucky enough to find one of the rare, ABWs out here, you're still out. You still can be SYSBM. But that's we know right now that's rare.
Right. Yeah.
My interpretation of SYSBM, and shout out to Carlos the Red Pill Traveler. Please go to that man's channel. We have live panel discussions about a lot of this red pill content, but we basically, in a nutshell, my interpretation, this stuff's just spread it like wildfire, right? All this part of the manosphere community. But basically, in a nutshell, my interpretation is basically that, and we try to mostly aim for a lot of purple pill guys, these guys who are in these, who cohabitate with women. They're staying with single mothers. They're in bad relationships. We try to aim for them, man. We try to tell them that you don't have to subjugate yourself to a fucked up situation. A woman with bad psychological problems, a woman who has multiple kids by multiple kids' dads, though, right? You don't have to pay off her student loans or pay her bills or whatever, right? If you know that you're extracting your resources and there's more of a loss than a gain, why not save yourself, black man? Save yourself from that situation. Why put yourself in a situation where you're sinking this quicksand, you're losing your job or whatever? There's a rope sitting right there, and she's not going to take that rope and actually pull you out of that quicksand. She's going to walk away from you because you're doing bad, walk away from you because your income or your resources not producing to her. You take that same rope, throw it around a tree, throw it around a pole, whatever you got to do, and save yourself from sinking. That's all you want to do. We want to save black men and save men in general from sinking inside of a pit full of shit.
Well, that's it. What I'm going to have to do with the pen, I'm going to rotate individuals in and out. I can only get 6 up at a time. Somebody might have to drop down. I can bring them back up, but I got to rotate in there.
Hey, I gotta get dinner ready, so I'm gonna drop
Leon,
off.
I gotta bounce too, bro. Salute.
All right, hey, brothers.
Salute, bro.
Shout out to brother Big Nate, Free Zone Lou. Check out their channels. And hey, brothers, thank you for coming on my panel.
Good to meet you guys.
Salute to the new cat, man. No offense, man. No offense.
All right, brother. Check out brother Nate. He'll be on tomorrow. He's going to get more into this Buffalo shooting. Let me drop the link again. But going back to gun control, I just dropped the link. Anybody else wants to come on back up and get the likes up, please. Going back to gun control, okay. And I just wanted to clear that up with Men's Daily here, because there's some people that might have taken it wrong. I understood what you were saying. I do believe in me having. I don't have one right now, but what's going on out here, I just believe you might need something out here. I mean, I know with the level of violence, if somebody walks up here, I want to be able to handle something without my life. And if I'm going to go down, let me go down fighting, because let me tell you about some of these kids, and Brother Trey and Brother Lockett already know. A lot of these kids are punks out here. And these are these boys, these are the ones you really got to watch out for. These grown boys. These are the mom. They live with these mamas who tell them that they're men of the house, and don't deal with the strag. These are the ones who are living at home under their mama's house, strapped to their mother, and their mother's putting everything in their ear to be violent and emotional. That's why they don't have any masculinity. Therefore, they're going to always emote. And what I mean emote, everything is going to be based off of emotion. And it's because they get it from their mom. They don't know how to have a cool hair. Let me tell you all something too. And I know I cuss. We all you know where most of us get our cussing from? Let's just be honest. I got it from my mother. My dad didn't curse a lot. My mom did. And a lot of us get stuff from our moms and we don't even know it. We want to be respectful. We all love our moms, but you got some of these moms out here that are ratchet themselves. Let's just be honest. And I believe we all know that, but we don't want to put our moms on blast. But there are a number of moms out here who have had individuals out here, sons, and they just weren't productive. Let's just be honest. That's why you have a number of the daughters. The daughters are masculine and the sons are sweet. That's what it is. Because they want the sons to be under their control.
Yeah. I agree. I was on Coach Red Pill's channel, and he made a very, very interesting video talking about don't fuck crazy. That's the name of his video. It has it right there in big words. Don't fuck crazy. Okay. And he got an alternate channel. It's called CRP Archive. The CRP Archive on YouTube. Just type it in. And what he was talking about is you want to stay away from women with daddy issues. What do I mean? Women with daddy issues, usually they fall into multiple categories. Either one, like I always say on my channel, one, the father is just completely out of the picture, or two, the father is what we call Uncle Dad, where he pops in, pops out, pops in, pops out. The third one is, the dad, or potential stepdad did sexual assault to the daughter. And then the fourth one is, where the dad was around in the household, but the mom and the family treated him like a piece of furniture, whenever go to him as an ATM, or use him as a couch, just a piece of furniture, or whatever, and we preach to strongly stay away from those particular type of women, Now, if you want to have fun with them, okay, that's one thing or whatever, right? But I tell these guys on my channel, short term should be tattooed in your brain, number one. And number two, know what you're getting yourself into, right? Because you got to remember, these women are loose. You got to remember, father wasn't around. So she's looking for two things, though, when she gets with you. Number one, she's going to be looking for daddy's love, right? This for the rest of her life, from one part. But the second time is she wants daddy to suffer. She wants to torture dad. You understand? Okay. So if you date her and she's giving you the world's best sex in the world, and she's fixing you pies, cookies, and all this other shit, and then, paying money for trips or whatever you got, whatever. And then all of a sudden the next day you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and you got a knife to your throat, and she's ready to stab you, and, whatever. And she's acting like, you're wondering if this chick is serious or not. No, she's fucking serious. She is fucking crazy. Okay. I'm telling you, these women with daddy issues, where the father weren't around, right? They're fucked up. They're damaged in most cases. Now, am I going to say all of them for, some of the potential women in the audience? No, but the vast majority of them, they are. You understand? And that's just how it is, though. You don't believe me, man? Why do you think if you go inside of a stripper bar or go ask a prostitute, where does she come from? Why did she start that? 90% of the time, she's going to tell you right off the gate why she started and how come. And you just ask her a straight up question, was your father in the picture? Most likely they'll tell you no, or something negative about it. The evidence is on the wall. Why have something to deal with that person long term? That's why I tell these guys. Short term should be tatted in your brain, or do not have anything to do with this woman at all. Vet these women appropriately if you decide to get involved with these women. That's all it is.
I mean, don't stuff yourself, but
That's fact. You gotta use common sense out here, and as a guy, you can't think with your penis all the time either. That's the problem.
Yeah,
a lot of us do. I mean, there's a lot of connections to what's going on with the violence, the culture war. That's why I kind of did all these topics together. Gerald 28 said, "Yeah, man, I've dealt with girls with daddy issues before. They either turn out to be sluts looking for love they never got from dad, or extremely feminists who hate men." That's
There it is. I'm just saying that man who just made that comment is the God honest truth, man. I don't
That's
sit on
right.
these panels to make this shit up. A lot of these guys learned this shit from experience. Hell, I did.
shout out.
What's that guy's name?
Shout out
411.
to Gerald 28,
Okay, shout out to Gerald 28. Good comment, man.
and shout out to Osama Abdul. I've been up here for a couple of hours, so I probably got another hour on, brother Osama. And anybody else who wants to go, I got 2 more slots. I dropped the link again. We're having good conversation here, and it's flowing just like I wanted it. And again, shout out to the chat. But there's a lot going on out here, and I just want to make everybody aware. And shout out to Trey saying what he said. I understand what Trey was saying. When we do a lot of self-help videos up here, nobody really wants to come around and hear it, because it's the mindset, particularly when it comes to the blacks. Let's just be honest. Blacks don't want to hear any self-help, but they need help. They want to hear about the what is her name that they were talking about, the Fox Soul, those 4 girls. I don't even know their name. That's bad. I don't even watch that. Fox Soul, there, 4 women, and one of them's from Indiana. I don't remember her name, but somebody up there knows.
Have you so I have a question. Has anybody on the panel actually dealt with a single mom with grown kids staying in the home? And how long did you stay in that situation, and what made you exit out of that situation? Anybody on the panel? Anybody who's new coming up? I just want to know.
I got out there real quick, because you think it's bad. Listen, you think it's bad with young kids. There's this show. You might want to check it out, even if you can spam it. It's called Smothered. Smothered. It's where the mother and the daughter and the mom are taking a shower together.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. You got a video on that stuff. Oh my God. And it's still like out, man. Oh my God. Yeah. That's for real.
I do.
Toxic enmeshment. That's terrible.
Yeah. And then a shout out to you, brother Trey. I understand, brother. Shout out. You also with that, you got the black woman and the black daughter. They're, I don't know, butt naked in bed, and the daughter's rubbing her ass. Yeah, almost borderline incest.
Wow.
I mean, it's something that's too much closeness. I mean, but now you flip the script. What if a dad is getting in the shower with his son? What would that be thought of?
Prison.
Yeah, don't drop the soap.
Prison. Not jail. Prison.
What would happen if a dad got in the shower with his daughter? Yeah.
Same thing.
Wow.
Shout out to Brother Davis. Yes. So there's a lot of double standards going on here, and that's why I say it. When you deal with anybody, grown kids are a headache. They're always going to side with their mom, even if the mom is wrong.
Yeah,
they're always going to side. And the problem is the mom tells them everything, and the grown kids don't like the men anyway. It's a fiasco. And from my humble opinion, don't even think about smashing dad. Don't even deal with it.
It's just bad.
That's some real red pill true. That is like super red pill. He said, don't even consider. Wow. That's a truth bomb, man. Wow.
And Celine says, I understand to what extent, but women should be shut down, especially as believing women who have a lot of wisdom outside of being a wife and a mother. I guess that had to do with the church. I know she had something in the panel about. No, I don't even think they should be pastors either. I mean, now, should women have some say in the church? Well, women
Yeah.
are the ones paying the money, but they're also fucking the preacher too. You know that. Let's just be honest. A number of them in these black Christian churches, we all know what's going on. And see what I'm doing. I'm just telling people, hey, look, that's some crazy stuff. Oh, what to the building? We got Awesome Alice in the building. What's going on?
There she
Hey,
is.
how you doing? I had a phone call. I went fishing today and climbed a tree for a
Oh,
woman.
okay.
I felt
Okay.
like a little kid. I was gonna go to the top of the tree, right? But then I thought about it because I had my cowboy boots on. I was like, oh man, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well,
I almost broke my behind.
you did better not.
But
'Cause I fell out one when I was small. Go ahead. We're talking
what's the
about
topic
violence.
now?
We're,
What's the
we're
topic
talking about
now?
all types of topics. The gun violence. That's the one we really been hitting on
Oh, I
real
got a
hard.
cure for that.
What,
Everybody strap up, man. We get back to the wild, wild west, and if they know everybody's got a gun, like they did it in Georgia, that Kennesaw, Georgia, the police put it in the paper, right? Because there was like back in the 80s, they had a whole bunch of crime, break-ins, and everything, and they did a study with the felons, right? They
right.
are less likely to break in a home when they know that the owner of the home is trained and has a firearm. So, like, what they found was when they put it in the paper and required it for every home to have a gun, like, crime dropped 80%. And it's been low ever since because they know that the people are strapped.
You
So
know,
I think like that's what needs to happen. People just need to learn to respect the gun. We need to do gun safety classes first. I think they should start like in Switzerland, they started at 8 to 12 years old to have the kids like do a gun class. So
you
I
know
think
what?
we need to do that here.
Well,
I
that's a
agree.
good point,
I
and
agree.
I believe that's another place where brother Men's Daily was coming from when it came to gun control, because you have a number of individuals who have a gun, and yet a kid will grab it, blow their brains out. The bottom line is the kids don't understand what they're holding. You got to put the thing on safety, or if you don't have the thing on safety, you got to take the magazine out, because a lot of us are strapping up with automatics here, and you can get 10 rounds off real
But
quick. Put a bu-
well,
put a
411, the golden rule that you should teach every child is that you always think that gun is live. So you don't just go pick up. Like my kids have been around guns and everything. They know that don't pick it up because it ain't a toy. Okay. So I think it's because we're not teaching the kids at a young age. I remember we had a kid that got shot out here, like because the kids were playing with the gun at the house and they thought it was a toy. So the next thing we know, the county, the sheriff took it into his hand to have all the cops go to all the schools to teach about gun safety. And they don't do that anymore with the kids. The cops used to actually go to the school and actually talk to the
Sure
kids.
did.
We had
Sure did.
that dare.
Sure did.
We don't have that no more. It's
Oh,
because they're trying to legalize drugs everywhere. And what is that really going to do? Like, you can legalize stuff all you want. That's not going to take away from the actual issue. Like,
Rich.
drugs destroy people.
right.
But
That's
I think
fact.
that we need to be more logical with this gun control because I feel like if we give the government too much reach into our information and everything, that's just gonna be like a foot in the door. Oh, I got my foot in the door now. Now I'm gonna start dictating everything else. Cause look at what they done in the last 2 years. Oh, it's just a mask. Oh, it's just a 2 weeks to the curb. You know what I'm saying? It's just this. It's just that. You see how we give them an inch, they go a mile.
Yeah. Well, that's
So the
yeah.
criminals ain't caring about no background. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going and getting a background. The only thing they going is in the background to go pick up another one. Okay, so we have to really think about like what is best for actual citizens that are law abiding. And it shouldn't be worrying about the criminals. It should be worrying about keeping us straight.
It should be.
Because once the criminals know that we straight and we trained, they are less reluctant to come. Like the gas station I work at when I'm cooking and stuff, we got a guy that he's open carry. They don't come to that store. They already know what he's got on his hip. So it's like it's a good deterrent, but you're always gonna have the ones that are young these days. What I notice is they are trigger happy.
They don't even know what they don't even know what they're doing with the gun, no, Alice. They're up
Thank
there.
you. They
They're,
don't.
they're pointing it wrong. They're watching too much TV. Like I said, you don't point a gun, especially if you got a
Sideways.
gun. Yeah, you're not going to hit anything. Okay, you can stand 5 feet away from somebody.
I've seen people like hold it sideways, like, yeah, I'm about, they're acting all gangster like they in a movie. This ain't no movie.
That
Stop.
gun's
Hold
going to
it
kick back
proper.
because my cousin did that, and I also told him about holding a shotgun. He was doing a 12 gauge. I said, you better put that thing against the shoulder, because I remember when I first shot the 12 gauge, I thought I broke my shoulder. I didn't have that thing. You got to put it in tight. There's a way to shoot it, and there's a way to aim it, and you got to make sure that your scope, if you're shooting a 30-06 or a 30-30, isn't bent. And you got to know how to maintain your gun. You got to clean it. You think these individuals clean these guns? Because if you don't,
No, they don't. They don't do nothing. A lot of times, these young bucks be getting them throwaways. Okay, when they clean out the what is it? When they have the water that goes under the bridges and stuff. Sometimes they release the water. They find guns in there all the time.
Yeah, but you got to, if you're gonna really be serious about a gun, you got to know how to take care of that gun. Some people pay $1,500 for a gun, and
then don't take care of it.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And they're very irresponsible with it. I've seen guys out here walking around with their pants sagging and the gun, man, actually falling out of their jogging pants, man, multiple times right here at my place. I've seen this shit. It was the same guy I was talking about earlier that I had to put out or whatever, right? And he's walking around with a little 1-year-old, man, little son and everything, man. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man, or whatever? Just because, man, I'm entitled. I should have my right to wear a gun. But why are you not, having it in a holster, man, or put it up at home?
I do understand that. A guy, he played for he started out with Michigan State, and he played for the Steelers and Giants. His name was Plaxico Burris. He was a wide receiver. He went inside a club, and the gun went off and shot him in the toe.
Well, did you see that? Did you see the one where that teenage boy?
Okay, over there, Devin. Devin said, "Ooh."
He was doing the video. I think it was a live video, and he put the gun in his pants and shot his thing.
Yeah.
No, Alice, come on.
That's what I was saying. That was exactly what I was saying. That's almost as bad as shooting the dick. Yep.
Wow. I thought I had some stories. I don't know. Alice got some stuff, man. What?
But you do have some people. There was a singer who died. I can't remember what his name was. I think he was playing with his gun and shot himself. And there was a guy on Facebook. He was taking a selfie with the gun, and the gun went off and shot him. I remember.
Whoa.
That.
He took a selfie and shot him where in the face, or you don't know?
And he had the gun right here, and the gun went off and shot him.
Yeah, accidents like that happen all the time because people don't realize when you don't take care of the gun, you can get a hair trigger?
It boils back to what I said before. Irresponsibility, man. I'm telling you this shit, man. I'm not making this shit up. Yeah, it's irresponsible, man. A lot of these guys do not think. They don't think. They don't think. They only react in the moment. That's all they do.
But I want to tell you this, okay? You have a lot of the lefties with the gun control. It's not the guns that kill people. It's the people who pick up the guns who kill people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stupid people with guns kill people. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like when I think about all these, like you should notice, like they're bringing back the mass shootings. They're putting that word mass. That's a part of the propaganda. So like, even the ones in the hood now, they're saying, "Oh, mass shooting, mass shooting." They said the Buffalo mass shooting. These are trigger words to get you thinking. So when they start using that type of language, you should be realizing to look into your county or look into your state to see if they're putting in another gun grab law, because they try to do these red flag laws. So just keep an eye on that, because I think what it is they don't want us to be able to arm ourselves. They want to be the
True.
only ones to have the weaponry, and that will put us in a bind. It really will, because like then we'll be like China, and you see how they doing them people over there now. They treat them like animals, man. Like I've been paying attention to what's going on over there, and them people are starving. They're starving them to death.
Yeah, that gives the government more control when you take the guns out of citizens'
And
hands. The purpose of the Second Amendment is to really not protect you
checks
from
and
others.
balances.
It's
Checks
to
and
take you from
balances.
well, the government, yeah, we've given the government way too much power. I mean,
Oh yeah.
if I mean, you think about it, with this administration, I mean, I go out and get a. Do you know how much I paid for a tank of gas the other day? You're not going to believe this. I paid $95 for a tank of gas, a tank
Wow.
of regular here in
Well,
Indiana.
didn't Alice say that she had a record-breaking amount? Didn't you say you paid a higher amount last week, Alice?
Well, they just like overnight at the gas station, it went from 3.79 to 4.19
Shit.
in one day. I said, "Whoa!" I asked him. I said, "What happened?" He said the truck came, and we had to pay a whole bunch more than we did, because like his gas has been the lowest, and and it depends on when the truck comes in. And he
Yeah,
was telling me like he has to go up on the price because they go up on the price on him, or he ain't making no money. And
I
I was
see.
like, "You mean to tell me?" He's like, "It went up a whole they pay like a percentage, okay? So like it went from him paying 25 cents on the gallon, now it's 75 cents. So they got to make even more. That's why the gas is going up, because the gas companies are making bank. Now you think
Yeah,
about like all these people were sitting at home, they weren't going nowhere. So why is gas so high when that gas was sitting?
Hmm. Wow.
See, that's what a
And
lot of
for,
people don't think about, is how much we weren't traveling, we weren't going nowhere for the last 2 years. A lot of people, so a lot of that gas was stored up. So I think
wow.
they cashing in on it. They gouging us because they have the opportunity to right now.
yeah,
Now, now 411, 411, that $95 you paid, was that to fill up your whole vehicle or just a
yeah.
portion?
That was because I was there, and Tommy G knows when I fill up gas. I
Okay.
mean, I might, you know me, I kind of get the cheap way out. I'm like, yeah, I'll fill it. And she's like, go ahead and fill it all up. And
Okay.
and
Oh Lord.
I kept pumping, and I said, man, I keep pumping, and all of a sudden, I saw the price. And, I felt, I looked at it, and I said, wow, I just got bent over with no grease. I had never ever paid
They did
$95.
did they even give you a steak dinner with it?
I have never paid 90. That's almost 100. And I gotta, you know what? They want to put us in electric cars, and people like me, I do construction inspection. I need an
Yeah.
SUV, and they want us in electric cars. I'm not taking an electric car out there on a site so to get torn up. And they want it to sit like low to ground. And heck, if they want that, we might as well just get a scooter or something.
Well, you know what I found out working at a country club, right? You know how they got those
Okay,
electric
those good adults.
those electric golf carts?
Yeah.
Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. What happens when the juice is gone? Okay, like I'm not pushing that car. It's like that battery makes it twice as heavy, and a lot of people don't realize. Like I was actually looking into it, looking some research to see what's the crave about them and everything. Well, come to find out, say you're in traffic. You know how hot that concrete gets. Okay,
Yes,
say
Yeah.
I
you're
do.
in traffic, Atlanta per se. You're gonna be in traffic a hour, 2 hours. Sometimes you got traffic jams. You think about how hot that concrete is. That battery is low to the ground, so it can get hot. that the heat or the cold can affect the battery where it does not charge properly anymore. Then you look up how much a battery is. That's like a whole nother car. You think you paid a lot for your gas? It's like $8,000 to $10,000 for
For
a
a battery,
battery.
that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You might as well just and see that's the you know I'm tying all this into okay. Wow, the violence is so high. I mean, you had people in California ripping off trains, stealing TVs. They got this rule. Brother Lockie can tell me they got this rule where you can steal up to $900 and not be prosecuted for
Wow.
shoplifting.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard about that, man. I thought it was a rumor, man.
No,
I thought
that's
it
what
was a
it
rumor. Is
is.
that for real?
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. That's going to raise the price of goods. Like
Everything.
the Walmart is losing a lot of money. Well, what's going to happen is the Walmart in my state, because to cover that cost, they're going to raise prices. It's like, let me give you an example. Obamacare. See, what they did with Obamacare, they just raised the price of my premium so individuals who are too lazy to get up to work can go get themselves some free insurance. That's all they did. It's more or less redistribution of wealth. That's all it is. So
Well,
I'm paying.
with the Obamacare, it wasn't free. Okay, that what a lot of people don't realize is like you had to pay a certain amount. Say you didn't even go to the doctor. A lot of people don't go to the doctor all the time. So that's how they
Right.
be getting you on that insurance. They want you to go do them what is it called? The
The
yearly
co-pays?
checkups and stuff like
Yeah, yeah.
that. So that's more money. When I did the medical billing, it was during the time that they put in that Obamacare, and it was like it they would charge way too much. Like they would try to double charge out. If y'all ever do go to the hospital, make sure you write down everything they did, and then when you get the bill, you make sure that it's not on there twice. Okay, because
Oh,
they be double loading these people. That's why your bills are so high. So if you do have to go, make sure you keep a record and you get a receipt of everything the doctor did. Because when it goes to billing, they might double charge you, and that's why your doctor bills be so high.
right.
That,
Well,
But
look,
Alice,
that
that's a good point,
Obamacare,
Alice. That's a good point.
well, I didn't know they were doing that until I started doing the medical billing, right? Once you get in the door of different areas, you start to realize what's really going on and how they're making so much money. And the truth of the matter is, with the medical field, they like when they send it to the billing, they want us to get as much as possible. So there's a code for every little thing that they do. There's a code for aspirin, there's a code for everything. And we're supposed to charge the insurance company. At the time, it was like I think it was $35 an aspirin we was getting an aspirin.
Wow. An aspirin.
And then yeah, I was like, wow, y'all banking. But
so
like
it's
all
all
I had to do was do the
Hey,
codes.
it's
I'm
all
just
But yeah,
glad.
y'all
I'm
keep
just
an
glad
eye
we
on your
brought up.
medical bills.
Yeah, I'm just glad we brought up the topic earlier about shooting and gun laws and the Bowling for Columbine shooting by Michael Moore, because Michael Moore also made a documentary called Sicko. I don't know if you guys remember it. It's
I
a
am
very good documentary.
I am not a fan of Michael Moore. Before I get on it, let me get to the poll right quick.
Okay.
Has there been an increase of violent crimes in American cities and towns? Right now, I have 38 votes, 87% yes, 13% no. So there has been, and that's a pretty accurate poll because we already know that there's an increase in violent crimes. But speaking of Michael Moore, I am not a Michael Moore fan. I've never been a Michael Moore fan. He's a devout leftist. Um, Anybody from Hollywood that tries to get into politics, I'm gonna just say I can't go for that. No can do. Sing a little Hall of Notes. No,
Right.
I can't deal with Michael Moore.
But
He's
what did you like about the actual movie? You know what I've learned, like from
Yeah,
dealing with people.
that's what I was about to go into about the movie. You know, it was just the fact that in Sicko, man, and it's still true to this day. He was going to a lot of countries, man, where a lot of you'd be surprised. A lot of the countries don't have insurance at all, man. They don't even know what the fuck insurance is. And he had like a situation where they took a boat over to Cuba, man, and the same inhaler that would cost almost $200-300 over here for this lady, right? Because she was out of the 9/11 situation. She was one of the 9/11 helpers. You know, he took the 9/11 helpers over there to Cuba, or whatever, and she had paid only 25 cents per inhaler, man, over in that country, right? It was like nothing. And like the average insurance over there, I mean, not insurance, but prescriptions over there were like anywhere from like 10 cents up to like $1. Like it was nothing. It was like crazy. And their philosophy in like Cuba, France, the United Kingdom, things like that, you know, because, you know, Europe has the European Union over there, right? You know, the universal healthcare system over there. But their philosophy is that
socialist over there.
Yeah, even though that we can actually tax people and do all this other stuff or whatever, the least thing we can do is provide health care, though, for our citizens. And that's like a pretty logical statement. But a lot of the other countries are laughing at the United States, like, how the hell you guys can't get this thing figured out? Why in the world you got insurance companies? Like, it's crazy. Even Canada was laughing, you know? I mean, shit.
Let me speak on that. Okay, a lot of people don't realize they do have socialized medicine up there, but there's a lot of people from Canada that have to come down here to get surgeries because they are backed up. When we socialize our medicine, it does not give you quality medicine. Okay, when it's privatized, you get treated better and everything else. You pay for what you get. When the state takes over and the government takes over, a lot of them people aren't getting treated properly. Okay, they're going in and out. They can see the doctor for 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, because they got so many people to see. That wears the doctor out. When you privatize medicine, you get better care. Like, depending on which hospitals you go to, if you go to a private hospital, they treat you better. They feed you better because they get paid better. Anytime that you think about, like, would you want to be paid minimum or would you want to be paid at what you decide? That's the thing about capitalism. But they do need to regulate the medical field because, like, that's the only field that was not regulated. They regulated I remember my dad told me, like, with the cars, at one time, people that worked on cars could charge you anything. And then they made it where you can only charge like $65 an hour. Okay, before they were making it where you couldn't even get your car fixed because it was so high just to get somebody to work on your car. There was a lot of people that were overcharging people. But like, if we did socialized medicine, there would be less people took care of because there's not enough doctors in the field to take care of all the people we do have. But they do have a stipulation, like if you have to go to the emergency room and you don't have insurance, they are required to see you. But when we do socialized medicine, it's not going to bring quality care. The medicine needs to be regulated because they charge too much because of the middleman. Like, all the medicine we have here is like 50 cents to 25 cents on the dollar in Mexico. Our medicine should not even cost as much as it does. Like diabetic medicine, there was supposed to be a regulation on that, and that's what Trump put in. And then as soon as Biden got in, he got rid of it. And then everybody that I knew that was on diabetic medicine, it went from like they could afford it to $1,000 for their medicine a month.
Wow,
So that's what needs to be regulated, is like the way they can price gouge people. We shouldn't be paying $1 million for a heart transplant when the transplant's free.
Right.
That I don't agree with.
Let me get to the chat right quick. Brian Davis says gun violence in the black community is because of black men mad at each other over women. That ain't that they can't get. Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And Latney says, where's the competition in the medical field? They will try to provide better customer service to fight for your business.
Yeah, that's just like any other business. If you look at a business, you're going to go, like, you want to have competition. Like, that's what America's about. It's like being competitive, being the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want mediocre. We want top notch. And we've got away from that, the merit based thing,
Yeah.
where everybody thinks it's okay to just go to work and get a paycheck. No, be proud of whatever you choose to do,
You
or
know,
sit down.
speaking of going to work, brother Lockett brought something up earlier, and we were talking about the minimum wage, and he mentioned something that I never ever thought of at
Mhm.
all. And he is right about that. The government wants to keep us as employees. That's why they brought that minimum wage in there. They're saying if they didn't, it'd be slave labor. But you think about it, you institute a minimum wage, most of us are going to be employees instead of employers. And when you bring in more draconian policies for taxes, for making money, there will be no growth. Everything will be stagnated. And people who want to get out there and own businesses, they're going to have to go through a lot of red tape.
We
And
just can't reach that ladder. They can't reach that rung on the ladder. They make it too high for us to reach.
Well, the problem I see with minimum wage, it never meets up to the standard of living cost, okay?
that's true too.
And when we were back before minimum wage, people were able to set their own pay by merit based work. And I think minimum wage made it where workers are lazy because they're like, oh, I'm only getting paid this much, so I'm just going to do a half ass job. And I think that gave that kind of pushed that mentality where people they weren't going to work because they felt like they were paid what their worth. They got paid what the government stated was what they say is your worth. So
So so then
yeah,
then the job becomes see how much you can not work and still get paid. That's what
yeah,
as their yeah. Then their job becomes that, you see, and then as an employer, you're not getting anything for the salaries you're paying.
yeah. Because like I know like the ones that he pays minimum wage at my job, it's like they don't work like somebody that I wheeled and dealed with him, okay, with what I was gonna do. I was like, all right, you want me to work for you? We're gonna sit down and negotiate. He asked me
Well,
like, what do you want to be paid an hour? I said, we'll negotiate. Anytime you put in an application, don't put how much you want. Just put negotiate.
Negotiate.
and
Yeah, and
and,
that works better.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I do. I negotiate a salary.
And if there were no minimum wage, doesn't mean that the next day everybody's going to start making $1 an hour or 50 cents an hour. It would be up to supply and demand, and it would be competitive. And if there were not a set minimum wage, believe me, people from Burger King are going to want to take people from McDonald's. They're going to want to take people from Carl's Jr. And that's just the way it is. And so therefore, there's going to be competition among salaries depending on the skill sets. And certain jobs are really meant for kids in high school. You're not supposed to be raising your kids on while you're making French fries at McDonald's. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Even if you are putting in $8 an hour, let the kids have those jobs. Let the seniors and the retired people who are already on a fixed income have those jobs. There are certain jobs that I would like to hire, kids that would be in junior high or high school level, and while giving them work that they can do at their level that would be easy, I would be teaching them biomedical engineering, which is what my field is, which would provide them with a very solid future. And in certain industries like agriculture, where they let them get away with not having to follow minimum wage, the cream rises to the top. You're not seeing hordes of people coming across the border and picking grapes in the vineyards and stuff. Yes, that does happen in a very general sense of the word. But what usually happens is the cream rises to the top, And you're going to find people who may have started off at the bottom work their way up to the top, which is what a wisdom is saying right now. People earn higher salaries and negotiate for higher salaries every single day. That's a relationship that should be private between employer and employee. How much a person agrees to work for.
Yeah,
No.
because like the more government gets even into our wages, the more they can see how much taxes they can take out of us. Like I think when they know how much we make, they're able to like with a sliding scale of what they think that they can take from us. Because at the reality is the more they have, like you think about, they do these polls, they do these census, they do all this collection of data, right? Then you think about when they spend money, what do they say? It's the American people's debt. But when they're spending it, what do they say? Oh, we think this is what we need to spend money on. They don't say we the American people. They exclude us unless they want us to pay. See, have y'all caught on to that yet? The way
it's
they
all
be
a scam out here.
doing that.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
But
Like,
the problem, Alice, is we all know it, but see, the rest of America, they don't know that because, number one, let's just be honest, many Americans are spoiled, and many Americans spend more than what they make anyway. I mean, you think a number of individuals can afford to live in a $500,000 house or drive a $60,000 car? Hell no.
yeah, they don't know how to live within their means. But
No, they're
you know,
about trying to keep
I
up with
have
the
this.
Joneses.
Yeah, they got to keep up with the Joneses, man. I don't have to have much to be content, man. It's like people can't find contentment no more. But you know, I was thinking, I looked it up. It's like I think it's like 2 weeks from now. I'm going to my commissioner's office, and I got me a new hashtag going, and it's hashtag minimum wage for all politicians. I think we should cut their cars, like no free gas for them, no free houses. They should be making minimum wage. And then guess what? What will happen is gas might go down. See, I've been thinking about how do we turn their own rhetoric against them? Oh, y'all want us to be working for minimum wage? It's time for y'all. So, like, I've been thinking about it. And you know, when I did the TikTok live, they took me down and flagged me for hate
On
speech because
TikTok?
I was selling the idea.
Well,
I had
well,
people on the left, the right, the center. They was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, y'all start selling this in every state.
yeah, but no,
Wow.
but that's true because the politicians, their social security is a lot different from ours. Their health care is a lot better than ours, but yet they want us to have the bottom of the barrel health care.
Bottom of the barrel. Yeah, you hit it on the runny, right? Bottom of the barrel.
They do. So
Well,
when
they
it
want to
comes,
defund the police and then have their own security. Every last one that was talking about defunding the police should lose all their personal security. I think that if you're gonna sell rhetoric, you should live by it. Like AOC, she wants to support socialism. Then she should be working for free because you're not supposed to have anything. You're not supposed to have private property. You're not supposed to have your own income. That's what socialism's about, you know. But yet, you know what kills me? She talks about the socialism, but then she uses capitalism to sell her T-shirts, talking about tax the rich.
well, you know
But
they're
you
all
were part
hypocrites.
of them.
They're hypocrites. See, the left, the thing about the left, they play identity politics, and their whole mindset is on racism. They want to stop the debate instead of actually putting out how their policies work. That's the problem because let's just be honest, their policies don't work. Nobody is going to be up to giving their money up for more government. Government is too intrusive. Heck, they already want to put drones out there to see what we're doing. And if you look inside,
Oh, they've been doing that. You didn't know about the Patriot Act. Like
well,
they've been doing that since 9/11, man.
well,
They've been surveillancing us and everything.
Well, when the Rona came out, they had something in your phone that if you hit that, they could track to see if you got the Rona in your phone.
Yeah.
People didn't know that. You hit that one time, you're toast.
Yeah, they had the track, like if you got an infection, they wanted you to download an app so you could put all the people you had been around so they can what is it, infection trace or whatever. I was
Wow.
like, this don't even look right. Like, why do they need to know everything? And then my friend was like, why are they giving free stuff? Like in my area, they were giving $100 for you to go get it, right? He was like, but it's free. Why are y'all having to pay me to take something that is free? And he says,
Yeah.
no, I'm good. Y'all can have it.
Well,
I was like,
Some people just look at the moment of things. They don't look at the long-term effect of things,
no,
you know.
no, they don't.
I mean, they don't. They look at, well, at least I get the quick $100, okay. But 5 years, 10 years from now, a few weeks from now, how's it going to affect you? They just think of the moment.
That stimulus that they gave us, no, that wasn't that great. That was not that great at all. But you're right. See, when you have a lot of ignorance, and that's what's dominating this world, the government loves to keep people, particularly the left, they love to keep people ignorant because most people aren't going to investigate anything. No, they're going, oh, I'm getting a free check. No, nothing is free. Somebody is paying. You're just receiving something that the government takes from the person who's working. You know, although we have a capitalistic society, we also live in a socialistic society too.
well, we have like socialist policies that have been implemented, which has took us away from individual growth. The way they get what I've paid attention to is they'll say, well, the community needs this, and the next thing you know, we got another policy. Instead of teaching the community to be self-sustaining, okay, to live in your means. No, they don't want us to do that. They don't want us to figure out how to self-govern by being able to balance ourselves and find moderation. Okay, they want us to go to them. And what I think it was a big experiment the last 2 years to see who would fall in line to what the government had been putting on that boob tube. Because I didn't watch, like my friend, he figured it out because he was stressed out the whole time. And then he said, I figured it out. All I had to do was push the power button and everything went away. I was like, you get it now, dude. But yeah, you think about like how much people just fell in line without questioning. It was like they just repeated everything they seen on television, and then how they acted, and then you see what's going on with this Roe v. Wade. The same people that were acting crazy, telling you, you better go do it, you better go do it. Those are the people screaming now, talking about my body, my choice. But what happened a year ago? Y'all was screaming and in our face, put a mask on, do this, do that. But
Right.
now it's my body, my choice. Make it make sense for
Well, the problem is a lot of them don't make sense, and they want to not make sense because if they keep you off balance, that's when they can take advantage of you. The reason why individuals who have sense get all their information scrapped off of social media because they're exposing the truth. And one thing about a lot of the bureaucrats out here is they don't want anybody to know what the real truth is. This is why they pay media. And you talk about selling out. The media is already sold out to the government. The media, you could say the government will tell the media to do anything, and the media will spin everything to the advantage of the party that's the weakest party, which is the left. Well, the weakest ideology, which is on the left, because really, what does the left have to put out? They haven't put out anything. I mean, everything that they say, like education. Here's what they talk about. Well, we got to keep throwing money at the problem. Well, it's still a problem even if you throw money at it. You're not giving a solution. You're just throwing money at it. And the people who
that's money. It's because of the money laundering they want to do.
Right.
I think the left was built by a woman because it's like the left was built by a woman. The reason I say that is because it uses the left side of its brain. It's emotional. They put everything out on, like in mainstream media, if you pay attention, it's to get a reaction. It's emotionally based. They use like visual things like race. They'll use sex. They'll
Yes,
say
great.
this. They'll say
It-
that.
for somehow it works.
Yes, it's insulting because they expect black people to be more emotional than rational. It's very insulting.
Yeah,
But
it really is the way that they play on the black, like the black people. Like I've paid
I mean,
attention
the
to
whole
it growing
Trump is
up.
racist
And
from the
that's
beginning.
why, guys like me, I have I step to no side and no left or right because I see problems with both the lefties and also the righties, man. Just like this cancel culture shit, on my channel just recently I got an announcement I got to make, but I'm moving all my content over to Rumble and moving it over to
Uh-oh.
Locals, man.
you didn't get
Yeah,
hit.
man.
You didn't get hit. You got hit, didn't you?
Yeah, well, no,
Have
I did
you?
not. I did not get hit yet. No, I did not because I haven't got monetized. See, so
Oh
what
yeah.
happened was I helped a
I'm
buddy of
thinking
mine. I'm not going to mention him, but I helped a buddy of mine. He got monetized, and then I said, "Well, when you got monetized, how did it go? Right? Did you go through the waiting process?" He said, and I quote, "Some of my channels got monetized, and then the rest of them, they were too controversial." I said, "Wow, right?" That's number one. Number two, there was another issue in our Facebook group, right? There's our Black Man Travels Red Pill group. There's, Passport Bros. There's multiple travel groups that we got on there, Red Pill groups and MGTOW groups, okay? Facebook, in this particular group, I'm an admin in our Red Pill travel group, came to me with two of our guys saying, well, they said some words in there. I'm just going to put it like that. They found inappropriate and is against our standards. I immediately contacted both of these guys on the phone and I told them, hey, you either do two things. One, make another Facebook group, right? Because they're in jeopardy of trying to shut this shit down. Or two, move all your stuff over to Locals and Rumble. Still produce on Facebook, still produce on YouTube, but move it over to Rumble and Locals. You're probably wondering why Rumble and why Locals. Very simple. Because Rumble and Locals are very independently ran, right? And on top of that, they preach strong freedom of speech. I looked at it this way, right? From the situation with Dave Chappelle and Netflix, shout out to Albert Preach. Albert Preach just made a video on this. It's like this. You got the LGBTQ community, the alphabet community or whatever, right? Saying, well, you need to get rid of Dave Chappelle because we don't like what he said, which was the truth. And Netflix said it like this. Look, Dave Chappelle made us a lot of money. He's did nothing wrong. He's a contributor to society, whatever. We're not letting them go. And they said it in a polite way. However, if you don't like the way we do business, if you don't like this operation, you don't need to be working here. And that shit is real. What I looked at it as, society, right? The left, right? They actually, right, want people to conform to what they want, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to let the right go ahead and actually swing off that way. No, because I got my issues with the right also too. And I can go on and on for days, my issues with the right as far as oil, gun control, violence, all types of shit. But here's my point on this. The point I'm trying to say is that when it all boils down to it though, man, that if a person doesn't like something or whatever, right, fine. Don't participate in that group, man. We'll just move somewhere else. Why should we have to change because of something that you don't like? You don't want to be in our group because that's what our private Facebook group is. It's private. You don't like it, whatever, then you shouldn't be in it. Why should we have Big Brother watching over what the hell we're doing and not exercise our right as freedom of speech? And so I told my guys, hey, start moving your stuff over to Rumble. Start moving your stuff over to Locals, because Rumble, they don't have the 1,000-hour monetization shit or the 4,000 clock hours of monetization. Nah, man. When you upload your photos, right, they go off of performance, man. Like what can actually have a high performance of views, and they start monetizing you like almost immediately. Like I got like a bunch of Rumbles already on Rumble, and then there's a couple guys who moved over to Locals, where Locals is going to be like the new local's going to eventually be the new Facebook, and Facebook is going to eventually end up like MySpace, man. If they don't get their act together with this regulation stuff, it's going to happen, man.
Let me ask you a question, Mr.
Go ahead.
GG. Why haven't the men realized, like, with the OnlyFans, it's not just sexual stuff that I know a couple guys that they use OnlyFans for like their work and stuff. You get more money with the OnlyFans. See, they've put so much stipulation on the OnlyFans, but there is other like artists and stuff that use it, and you actually can do whatever you want and talk about whatever you want on there because it is a site that you can do that. Like, I know people, they got tired of being censored, so they actually did an OnlyFans. I was like, a man with the OnlyFans, what you gonna do? Show some leg? He's like, no, it's not like that. He's like, no. He's like, you gotta pay. You gotta pay for members. You gotta pay, like the members pay a certain amount, and you are able to just like go live like we're doing now. Right. And he's able to do whatever, speak on. He don't have to control his speech. He can say whatever he wants. But I think it'd be good for the men's groups to like get some servers and start their own like men platform, kind of like YouTube. Call it ManTube.
Right. Well, I got next in the building my brother, Big Body Productions. What's going on, brother Matt?
You know, oh shit. Gunshot just went off out here. God damn.
Well, you came at the right time. That's what we were talking about as well, Gun. And you're in Camden, New Jersey, and
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Man, like 8 shots just went off. God damn.
See, we were just talking about that American citizen. And I apologize, brother Matt, that I didn't get back to you when it came to Kevin. I didn't have full information on the KS deal until maybe a couple days later. I'm like, I didn't want to give you any bad information.
Yeah, man. You know, I want to start by saying, man, rest in peace and shout outs to Kevin Samuels, man. One of the realest, man, whoever said it and stuck to it and threw it in their face and made it fucking stick, you know?
But shout out to you, brother Matt. Yeah, we were just talking about gun violence, a lot of us. And you live in New Jersey. And you can tell us how Camden is. I've been to Camden, and you know what it is over there.
Yeah.
You know
you need to go get some cover, man. Go in the house.
All right, man, I'm sitting out here with my shit, man. Look, man. Motherfucker just spit down the street with the lights off, man. Oh, man.
You giving me flashbacks when I used to live in the hood. No. Go inside.
Yeah, good to see you again, Big Body.
What's happening? If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But god damn. Yeah, so gun violence, what about it?
Well, do you see an increase in gun violence in the last couple of years? I mean, even here in Indianapolis, I see it, and I'm near Chicago. It is all over the place. Everything is going to become a hood one day. This may also become a hood. Everything may become a hood because of Joe Biden's urban renewal, where he wants to stick all the hood people out in the suburbs so we can bring the property value down. Nobody's talked about that.
Oh my God, I wish he would hurry up and anyway. Fucking Biden. Man, I gun violence. It's honestly, man, it's just I see gun violence increasing because there's a lot of irresponsible people out there just doing stupid shit, man. I mean, I'm a firm believer in having a gun and right. protecting your own, and I'm all for guns, man. But you have some responsibility behind it too, man. I also notice because New Jersey's real strict with their gun laws.
Yeah, but I was shootings in Jersey and Trenton and Newark, and I went to school in Newark, and I used to hear them all the time, brother, right on Lock Street up in Newark, if you know where that is.
Yeah. So what I noticed, because I've been around being a former trucker and shit. I've been in different areas of the United States, and I know that I've been in some of those open carry states, and I noticed people move a lot more. There's a lot more. Let's just say people are a lot more humble when you're walking around with a fucking strap on. You're like, you can get your point across and actually have a conversation with somebody instead of a motherfucker just lashing out, ready to pull out and blast you. You know, like
Yeah.
I just noticed in this open carry stage, people carry themselves a lot more civil and humble and calm.
An
And-
armed society is a polite society.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question. Since you're in New Jersey, right? Have you
Right.
noticed like the more gun restrictions they have, the more crime it is?
oh shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. They just pulled somebody over out here, but yeah.
You ain't driving, are you, man? You driving?
No, I'm sitting out here. I'm out here on the porch, man. I'm just watching this shit, man.
Oh, okay.
The 8 shots went off when Leon first introduced me, and then a car drove down the street with his lights off, blew the stop signs and everything.
Uh-oh.
Next thing I know, the cops came down afterwards. Then,
Well, you're the right one to pull up when we talk about gun violence.
then that same car drove the other direction and turned off to one of the streets, and then 2 cops just sped down, followed him, and got his ass. So it's not looking good for him.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I mean, I do see a lot of recklessness when it comes to the gunplay out here
Yeah.
in New Jersey. But these laws don't make it any easier either. Because I'm a firm believer in I'd rather be caught with it than without it, especially living in the city. But you have a lot of
like what's the background check? Like how hard is it to get it? Like some people, like some states, it's like 3 days. Some it's 2 weeks. So like in New York, you have to actually have somebody else sign and say that you're mentally capable.
I just know this because
really in New York.
Yeah, New York is like one of the hardest states to get a firearm.
Nah, I think New Jersey just as hard. I think New Jersey.
Fascinating.
Yeah, look up the regulations, like the gun regulations. That's why a lot of people left New York because everything got crazy up there, with the riots and stuff.
Well, New York. Are you talking about New York State or like New York City? Because
New York City.
Okay, yeah, because I know like upstate New York, they're a little bit more relaxed. But when it comes to the actual city in New York, those gun laws are fucking crazy.
Yeah, you would think with all that stuff going on up there, they would relax it because I remember was it in the 90s that what was it, Giuliani? I guess he was the mayor. He made it where everybody like could carry their gun everywhere, and the crime went down because like the people knew that people had guns.
Right. You'll think twice about getting bucked with a motherfucker knowing that they're legally allowed to carry a gun on them, rather than there's some law put out there and like that restricts you from carrying it. It's just like you know what to do and what not to do. And if you know a motherfucker's got the right to carry a gun, you really will think twice about just getting bucked with a motherfucker and trying them, knowing like this could be your last time you get stupid with somebody. You think twice, especially if you value life.
Josie Wells, talk about are you feeling lucky, punk? How lucky are you feeling?
Hey, Matt.
I have a question for Big Body. So on the on similar topic, have you ever dealt with a single mom with grown children at home that actually held guns in their possession while you were involved with her? In your past, have you ever dealt with that?
I try. I try not to deal with any chicks with a whole bunch of kids or kids that are younger. I mean, kids that are older, living in the house still. Leon, you know where I got that from. Leon, right?
Is the grown children living at home? Have you dealt with that? They were
Yeah, I don't
strapped and ready to go, and you were involved with the single mother with the grown kids that's still living at home with guns. Have you dealt with that?
Nah. I can honestly say nah, because nah, man. 'Cause my thing is like this. I can't be in the same house with a woman, and hey, if I'm laying down with this woman and they got a whole nother, I don't give a fuck if your son or not. I just two grown men in the same household, and I'm laying the pipe down to the woman. No, that nigga's got to go. He's got to go. Now, if he's underage or some shit, I'm gonna be in that woman's ear, like, yo, you gotta. You gotta do something, pay some rent or something, put some food in his fridge or something. But as far as him having weapons, no. Drugs, yeah. I know motherfuckers, that have kids that, have a little bit of weed in the house. Hey, maybe even some cocaine or some heroin, depending on what they're into, whether they're out there slinging or using. But guns, not to my knowledge.
So you've never been in that position where there's the grown adult kid that walks up to you right out of nowhere and say, "With his gun, don't you be disrespecting my mom." The
Nah,
last
nah,
guy, that's why the last guy ain't here either. And he
nah,
cocked his strap and put it inside his drawers. You never dealt with that.
I ain't got that problem, bro. And plus, I'm a big size guy and I have an intimidating size, so a motherfucker will think twice before just running up on me pulling a gun. More than likely, if we got some sense, he'll just go ahead and get rid of me real quick before trying to have a threatening conversation with me. But I haven't dealt with a woman with a grown ass kid living in the fucking house.
Thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God, man. Thank God.
Thank
We're
God,
taking
man.
the wise advice from 411 to never be
Man
involved with
already, hey, me and Matt have known each other for a while. We already know this. Yeah,
Well, if you think about, depending on the man's age, once a man gets to a certain age, he's like to an age where he just wants to relax. So yeah, if you're an older gentleman, why attach yourself to other people's kids? Um, is the question. Like
oh
people should
no,
ask,
that's a hell.
why should I put that load on myself? When I'm at this ripe age, I just want to chill. Once a man gets to a certain age, he just wants to relax, and he's getting close to, like, he's established. Like men, they mature, like they build a revenue up the older they get. Women's
Yeah.
value kind of devalues as we get older, and it's because our visual declines. And that's why a lot of women, when they get to a certain age, get scared. They've been doing a career thing, and now they want to settle down. But it's like your youth is gone,
Yeah, that's why you
and that's
gotta.
what they're struggling with, is the fact that they're not that hot piece on the market anymore. That's what I've ran into with a lot of these older women
Mhm.
that didn't have kids and career orientated, and then all of a sudden they're at 30, they're at my age, 30, 36, 40 years old, wanting to now have kids. Like, why'd you wait so long?
That's where the delusion comes in at, man. The delusion of what they've been taught by their single mothers. Okay. And then they're like really surprised. They get really desperate, man. I'm telling you, really desperate. It's like nowadays, in my opinion, you meet a 30, 36, 37-year-old woman and have a conversation with her, right? Treat her out for a drink and maybe two, and she's off to the races, man. Because she's trying her best to lock your ass down. It is funny as hell. If you guys do not believe me, go out there and experiment it with. I'm telling you, man. And they're like trying to get marriage, man, lock you down. There's some of them where their eggs, man, their eggs are like gone. They're like in their 40s and shit, man, and trying to hurry up and still trying to have kids. Well, my one auntie, she had a kid, so okay, but show me proof that there are thousands out there having kids left and right in their 40s. I want to see this shit.
Well, shout out to Lex.
It's rare for women that age. Like, if they get to that age, then you're looking at possible genetic disorders and everything else, is what they found.
Yeah.
Even with guys, when they're older, they have a high chance. Yes, they can have kids to the day that they, no, produce kids, not have kids, but produce kids to the day they die. But they have found that because of the testosterone levels, start to decline, it's like it's not good to have kids or produce kids after a certain age.
Right.
And,
Well, I mean, you gotta take care of your balls too. I mean, fellas, you gotta stay in the gym, drink your water, eat right. Take your
don't wear
vitamins.
briefs. Don't wear briefs.
You
Let
have
her
to
live.
have a diet. You have to have a diabetes diet to take care of your balls, right, big body?
Don't wear
You gotta
skinny
ride a
jeans.
Harley that massages them.
Don't wear them skinny jeans. I be like, when those skinny jeans came out, I was like, oh my god, how y'all like? I don't know, man. I was thinking that there was problems down there because there's no breathing room. Like, what were they thinking? Putting leotards on dudes.
Wow, that's great. Let me get to the chat right quick. Latine says, sounds like a, oh, you guys are rough. Sounds like a gangbang mom and type of deal. Beware. And then Brother Davis, I think there are black men who are aware of the left's treachery. If they
Yes.
call it out, they'll lose coochie points.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out.
Right.
Well, they got to stop worrying about that bedpost and worry about the house.
Well, that's actually true. And everybody, let's get the likes up. If you want to donate, you can donate, but I'm not going to be a pastor and beg, but just get the likes up for me. Get the likes up. Get me over 2,100, please. Get me over 2,100. So,
Well, have you thought about doing Odyssey? Odyssey? Have you heard of Odyssey?
what's Odyssey, buddy? You guys are coming up with all these.
It's another like free speech platform that y'all might want to check out. It's like
I
YouTube.
never.
You can
Yeah, man.
upload videos.
I mean, the thing was YouTube and Facebook and IG was what really pissed a lot of people off, man. And I really think this is just me talking. Part of the reason Elon Musk actually bought Twitter was to actually show people that hey, we need to have a platform that's properly known that we can still express what we want and how we feel, no matter if you agree or disagree on. You understand? And that's what locals, man, is more about, and Rumble's more about, man. I mean, there's another one, like Alice said, there's another one I found out called Coffee, where you can get monetized much quicker. And you're starting to see people also leave from Patreon, man. I was like hearing a lot of my Red Pill MGTOW guys that got flagged, man, because they call it a yellow flag because they were hey, my boy Zoom to Thailand, man. Go to Zoom to Thailand channel. He was showing some dark shit on Patreon, man. And of course, Patreon thought, hey, we can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. So I got, if you're a smart guy, you always assume that you could be deplatformed or shut down at any time. That's number one. And number two, you always keep your fishing rods out there. So if in the event you find something that's more valuable, more better, then maybe you can take advantage of that type of situation. But yeah, I've moved like a lot of my videos. Even I haven't even got monetized on this thing yet. I'm at 500 subs, man. And I actually moved a lot of my stuff over to Rumble. I started getting monetized like almost immediately, and I created a locals. Locals, you could create a community on there, a privatized community, and you can make a shitload of money on there if you know what you're doing. So yeah, you might want to check it out. And Alice, what's the name of that other one you said?
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah, there's some people that's using Odyssey too. Twitch, you don't really want to use Twitch unless you're a gamer. What I've found is the people that make the most money are using multiple platforms because these platforms link into one another. You can share your stream on different platforms. So it's good to, if you're going to make money doing this, make sure that you branch out so you have multiple ways to make money. So if you got Rumble monetized, what you can do with your YouTube, since you'd be censored, is you just display what you're going to do and send them to Rumble. Because that's what a lot of people have been doing because of the censorship on
Yeah.
YouTube, is like they'll just make a short and let you know when they're going live. That's the good thing about the shorts on YouTube, is like when you're about to go live on Rumble, you could put a short of whatever you're going to talk about and put it on your channel, and that'll send the people to you. They'll know that's like just like a 15-second, 30-second video, and then before you know it, you got more and more people coming. It brings the traffic, is what it does, because it's
Yeah,
short,
it does.
simple,
It does. It brings
and
more
gets to the
eyeballs. I
point.
agree. I agree. It
But
brings a
yeah,
lot of
try
eyeballs.
if you're trying to do that, I would suggest like getting on multiple platforms. I don't really like Facebook because like for the last 2 years, man, I'd say one thing. I got flagged for saying women are crazy. I know because I am one, and I got 30 days for saying that. I said, what?
Oh wow! Did they
They
put you
said
in
it was
Facebook
hate
jail?
speech. Yeah, they said it was hate speech. I
Hmm.
said,
Wow.
Yeah, I can believe that because I got 30 days for saying bitches ain't shit.
No, I know
really?
you got it.
He got 30 days. Wow.
I already know Matt got flagged.
Yeah.
See, that's why I named my TikTok Gulag Patriot. I was like, I'm a prisoner of community standards. I was like, that's what a lot
Yeah.
of people don't realize. We on this social media and it's putting us in gulags, man. You know what it feels like? It's like you're a mime and you're in this clear box and
Mhm.
you can see them, but you can't touch. You can't do nothing. It's like I'm in here. Like you feel like you're in a
Yes.
little clear box.
Yeah, it's like okay. I just went on Twitter just last night and Sandman, man, MGTOW Sandman, shout out to him. He just announced it on YouTube, man. He got another 6 days ban, because he put out a video, man, about I think it was called, man, MGTOW's the best pill to take, and I think it was that one and a couple others, and he got 6 days suspended from YouTube. His channel's already demonetized completely or whatever, but he still shoots his content and put it out on like other platforms like Twitter, BitChute, or what have you, or whatever, But it's real out here, man. You gotta really fish around for more freedom of speech platforms, First Amendment, platforms, and platforms that really, really don't care about what you say, And I look at it this way, because that guy who did that murder up there in both California and another guy up there in New York, I look at it this way. For the guy to premeditate and put all that information out there, yeah, it looks bad for him to say all the racist and discriminative cases, right, and stuff on one side. But look at the flip side. If he did not put that on there, how would people know that this man was actually having these ideas drummed up in his head of what could have happened versus what could have not happened? That's just the way
But
that I'm looking at it. You understand?
yeah,
And
because
I
at
hear
least he
these, and
was
I hear these
honest.
lefties saying, "Oh my God, they need to regulate this, and they shouldn't be able to say that or whatever, right?" And no, you shouldn't be on those platforms. You need to go where there it is regulated. Go there.
Well, they've been doing some studies in Britain, right, on how certain information is radicalizing people on the left and the right. Okay,
Mhm.
that you have to be careful what you're intaking because like it's called accelerate. They try to accelerate. They'll use like words just to get you enraged because that's what they want. They want everybody to rage. And the thing about the young folks is that these days, like the ones that I found, they get on this thing. They got this thing that they do. It's called demon time, and that's when a lot of them are doing all these crimes. You'll see them post something online talking about I'm on demon time. If they do have illegal guns, you be prepared because they're about to do something. Because that they have this theory. It's a new trend. It's been going on for 2 years that during demon time they are untouchable. Okay, that's the type of rhetoric that's been pushed the last couple years
Like the
into
purge, right?
these young people. That's why I don't even have my kids. Like, I'll show them what's going on online and stuff like that. And I've been trying to like get them prepared for when they do get older and get online to deal with trolls and stuff. But I'm not letting them on there because I like even with the ads on. I had to get rid of Kid YouTube because they were trying to put ads on there, trying to sneak stuff in there with the rainbow stuff,
Wow.
the
I
alphabet
believe it.
community.
I believe it. I believe it.
And I have boys, and I want them to stay in their masculinity. and not be feminized. Because like that's what their main focus is, to take the male youth out.
Yeah,
The,
they're
no
preying on
matter
them.
what color they are.
Yeah, they're preying on them.
Yeah,
And
it's like that's the main thing. It's not they used to go after the girls, but now their whole main focus is the boys, because without men, they could take the country. Even because men don't start off as men; they start off as boys, and then they're raised into men. And if they can get them young, they can change our whole culture.
That's
All
correct.
right. Let me get to
That's
the
correct.
chat right. Let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to Deacon Dave. Latney says they censor heavily on TikTok because they want to program that censorship is normal and okay. Well, we're at the almost 3.5 hour mark, so I'm gonna get ready to shut it down pretty soon. I want everybody to give me their
Good live, brother.
hey, thank you very much. Give me the last comments of the day.
Well, like you said, brother, the violence is out of control, or at least it's getting there, and we need to establish the cultural foundation so that these, I don't know, man. Maybe we can get the young kids to listen. Maybe not. I'm not really sure, but
Right.
we have to at least set the example, set a foundation. We do want the gun. Well, at least I am not anti-gun. We do want to have the ability to defend ourselves, but we have to teach the youth on how to use them responsibly. You know,
All right.
we got to police our own.
And that's a fact. And Brother Lockett, again, I appreciate you for coming up. Don't be a stranger. I'll be
Same
doing
as
it again next Wednesday. Brother Men's Daily. Let me have your
Peace out, man.
peace out, my brother. Let me have your last statement of the day or the evening.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you again bringing me on the platform, man. This is really, really inspirational, and thank you. I learn a lot every time I come here, man. I appreciate it, man. But my last words I have to say, you guys, is that amongst gun violence, censorship, or whatever, right? Be responsible. That's the only thing I can say about that is be more responsible. I am anti-gun. I am, man. Until they actually find a way, or someone comes with a solution to actually have these people who are irresponsible be accountable for their irresponsibility, right? We're going to always have, little kids finding these guns. We're also going to have the psychologically impaired finding these guns and killing people. And then the next guy who's pro-gun is like, oh, well, that didn't happen to me. That's on them. No, they have to be held accountable. But that's just, my opinion upon it. And those who are responsible, praises to you. I got buddies of mine who carry a lot of guns, a lot of these guys who work in the special forces, a lot of these guys, though, too, who are in the United States government, and around the globe or whatever. Praise you guys, though, right? Who are not, doing irresponsible things. It's just those out there make those individuals look very, 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 very bad, Now, on the part, when it comes to this cancel culture stuff, you guys, I just agree with Alice. Make sure you guys keep an open mind and go link your YouTubes, link your Twitters or your Facebooks over to other accounts. You understand? Other accounts, okay? You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're just at one place one time and then boom, you wake up, your accounts have been canceled, man, and all that stuff. It's really, 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 sad, So yeah, I tell people to go ahead and move over to Rumble, move over to Locals. These are other platforms I suggest, and listen to Alice. She actually has some suggestions of some other platforms too, So, but anyways, thank you, 411. I appreciate you bringing me on, and I hope that all goes well for you, and I hope you are successful. Good to see you again, Mr. Big Body, and good to see you again, Miss Alice.
All right. Peace, my brother. Thank you. And everybody subscribe to Men's Daily's channel as well. We've already spammed it. Everybody subscribe to Big Body Productions channel as well. So, all right, Awesome Alice, your last
Well, I am 2A all the way. Okay. I think 2A
Me
is the
too.
way.
I'm
I
sure
can
Matt is
respect other
too.
people's opinions though, man. I have met some people that are anti-gun. It's like you just learn to agree to disagree. That we all have reasons behind what we think or what we have an opinion on. I think the only way we're going to fix a lot of stuff is we got to start young. We got to teach our youth. We got to we can't let the government teach them. We got to teach them. That's why homeschool is the way, man. Um, and that's on the rise. What I found in my town. As far as like with the gun violence, my suggestion is y'all stay strapped, get prepared, keep it greased, and stay ready. The only gun
Oh,
control I know is finger control.
there you go.
But
So
that's
that's
just
that.
me.
That's so I'll be.
But yeah, I always appreciate you letting me come up. It's good to have conversation with some good, upstanding men. Y'all make a lot of sense. Y'all are hope for the future. Y'all really are. So y'all just keep talking and spreading the good message. I think that it's important that more men actually say what they think, so there could be a better understanding of why logic is important. Because men balance women. If they'll listen, a lot of women just hear y'all. But if they actually took time to listen, they might learn something.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate you letting me come up.
All right.
Got a point.
All right. Well, we'll be up here next Wednesday, and shout out to Alice for coming up. Matt, just being you, so you know. What about that point she said? Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
man. She got a point. I really I like her, man. I like how she just stuck it right out there, man. Men do balance women, but like she said, a lot of times they just they hear you, but they're not listening, man. Sometimes they just need to shut the fuck up and tune the fuck in, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh, hey, that's a fact. Well, feminism is driven most of them. Facebook. I mean, heck, you got. And I remember when you told me you got Facebook jail for saying, because I know you could get some raw stuff in there. I
Oh
mean,
man, yeah, you know.
well, I'm glad you came on up there, man. But and brother, just protect yourself out there with them gunshots, man. I mean, I did hear him in the background myself, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
oh,
was like, what the fuck?
you sitting out there on the porch too. You don't know, and I'm glad we're glad the cops caught him. I mean, heck, brother, man, we asked somebody, even in my town, it's a little bit bigger than Canada. Somebody got shot. There was a black woman who shot a pizza man, I believe, in the face or something.
God, man.
Yeah, man. You even brother Matt, even with some of these women, man. Let me tell you something. This is gonna sound callous, man. You're gonna have to hit them in the dome too, bro. They
Yeah.
carry. Just be honest. They carrying. You're gonna have to.
Dude, my thing is this, man. If you got to get rid of them, do it right, you know? So, look, man, two to the head, one to the chest, or was it two to the chest, one to the head?
Yeah.
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 You're going to do it right. Get rid of them, man. And if you can get away with it, then hey, so be it. Shit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
hey, you know what, though, man? My take on that, with the irresponsibleness. That's
Yeah.
even a word. That's even a word. But the irresponsibility of people handling guns and gun violence, man. You
Yeah.
gotta lead by example, man. And I'm a firm believer in. I'm a firm believer in this. It doesn't sound kind of fucked up, but I'm pretty sure you can understand where I'm coming
I'm going to understand.
from. I'm gonna use this. Analogy. If a motherfucker gets caught stealing from a grocery store, if you go live on TV and sentence that motherfucker to getting his wrist chopped off, his
Oh,
hand chopped off his wrist, I guarantee you the theft rate in that area will be at an all-time low.
man, you talking about some you talking about some Middle East stuff, because that's what they
But
do over there.
but look, I mean, let's be real. Their crime rate and our crime rate. See, we're just locking motherfuckers up. they're chopping shit off. The average motherfucker can't function with one hand or 8 fingers.
Well, do you know when you go to individuals over there though, when you go to jail, and I've been over there when I was in the Navy, they get bread and water over there. They don't
They're
really
just fucked up. I've heard.
They don't no cable TV, no cell phones. When you were, in fact, over there, you want to go to jail. You'd rather go to jail than get your hand chopped off. And they do chop it off over there. Yes, they do. They don't. They don't play over there. We are the problem with this system is, yes, you lock people up. The taxpayers are paying to house these individuals, and when that happens, these individuals aren't rehabilitated. Heck, many of them who have been in there for a long time come out and they go back in there again.
Yeah, because that's all they know. Or some motherfuckers are just comfortable with 3 hots and a cot. You figure they ain't got to pay no bills. They ain't got to fucking pay nobody to wash. They're washing their ass for free. They're eating for free. And they're living for free. All under the state's budget.
Yeah.
Who's to say they come out from that facility, they probably ain't got nowhere to go. Then they got to deal with the realities of living life and paying bills. So if they're not used to that, what's the best alternative? Let me get back into where I came from so I can live scotch-free and I have to worry about this shit called life, you know?
Well, that's actually true. So, Brother Matt, hey, I'll be up here next Wednesday. Come up early next time. I'll put the link out. Come up early.
Yeah, I was man, I got my little one with me, man. I had her all day.
Hey, I understand. Yeah, I understand that, bro. And how's she doing? She about 5 years old now, bro.
Next month she's in the big 5, man.
Oh man, brother, she grown fast, bro.
Yeah, he's getting big, man. I'm like, shit, man. This shit ain't going. This shit ain't moving fast enough.
5, yeah, because my granddaughter will be 9.
Damn.
Yeah, they 9's half of 18, so
Yeah, she's halfway there.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
bro. But yeah, I apologize. I didn't get back because I didn't even really know what happened. Everybody was reporting on that, bro.
I didn't believe it when I heard it, man.
I didn't believe it either, and I didn't want to put out any shoddy information because a number of individuals, they do put out information that's untrue, and I couldn't pass that. You had to get more information on it. It's
right.
It's still hard to believe, but
here's what's bugging me out. You got bitches out here really celebrating his death, man. That's what's killing me, man. Like, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, but you want to know what, brother? That karma is going to come around.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of the videos, but I know they're out there, and I've heard other YouTubers talk about it. Just because somebody is telling you the truth about yourself, number one, you want to shut them down, and if they pass, you want to step on their grave. I mean, that is insane.
It's fucked up, man.
And that's the problem with these modern day. Well, when I say modern day, I'm talking about even the modern day thinking. You got Vivica Fox out there.
That bitch. Oh, she needs to stop, man. She needs to fucking stop. That bitch.
Claudia Jordan. I mean, all these individuals out there. I mean, just because the man had a point of view. I got my point of view. You got yours. Hey, but at the end of the day, you can't run from the truth, brother Matt. You know that.
And that's what it is, man. It's truth, man. Fucking people don't like to deal with the truth, man. The truth, they say truth hurts, man. The truth really
it does. It makes you. Truth makes you grow up. I mean, hey, have I done some crazy shit in my life? Absolutely. Had I had to live up to it? Yeah, it's unpleasant. However, it makes you better. It makes you think. And
right.
When I tell people about an education, you get a real education out in these streets. What you get in school is all, I call it all bullshit education, really, because they're telling you what to read, unless you go overboard and actually read it yourself. In college or in public school system, they're all about the LGBTQ. They're brainwashing. Let's just be honest. Education in school
It's not what it used to be, man. It's educate. Public school education is bullshit. It's always been bullshit.
So is college, man. You go to college, you get a degree, and you end up with a pocket full of, well, I shouldn't say a pocket full of debt, because debt, you end up with a holy pocket. Okay. Well, debt, I mean, then you got a lot of Americans here who don't know how to spend money. They'll go, especially, let's just be honest, you know how Negroes are, man. Many of them that don't even have the money, they're gonna buy a car, and a car. Let's just be honest. I drive a old, shoot, it cost me $95 to fill mine up. I bet it cost you.
I drive a fucking Lexus GS 300, 2001. That fucking runs off a premium.
You still got that Suburban?
I still got it. I just got it sitting, man. I don't even want to put nothing in there, man.
Yeah. Now, how much? Now, if it costs me, I got a 2006 Chevrolet Trailblazer, and it went almost down to E and out 95 because gas is $4.59 here, so and $4.79 in some places here. So I know it's got to be.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't even bothered to fill it up, man. It's been sitting on a quarter tank for over 2 months. I haven't driven it.
You know, I was about to fill mine up to a half a tank, and Tommy G said, no, go ahead and fill it up. I'm like, because I was already at 10 gallons, I was already 11 gallons, I was already in there $50. Yeah, go ahead and fill it up. Man, when I filled that tank up, brother, let me tell you something, Matt. When I bent over, I got it with no grease, bro.
Yeah.
That hurt. And I don't think anybody understands that some of us who pay the bills, we got to drive. I mean, when they want us to ride in scooters, electric cars, no. I mean, I got to drive.
Right.
I mean, hell, you got a bike. I mean, you don't. You got to get a license to have a bike. I'm not riding a motorcycle out there with these crazy folk, man. I mean, I saw.
I'm looking at that. It's sad when. Cause I only put premium in my tank, man.
Jesus Christ.
I'm almost spending the whole 20 just to put the fucking premium in, man. And I only got a 3-gallon tank.
And your motorcycle?
Yeah.
You spend $20 for 3 gallons?
Almost. I spend the 20 and I only get a few bucks back. And I'm like, shit.
Premium.
I'm putting premium in there, man.
Heck. Well, now, Tommy Jean had a Suburban, and I got to do it. Put some of that STP or whatever, that gas treatment in there too. I've used it. I got to use it again. That'll help.
Yeah.
And then and it's very hard. I used to change oil. Very hard. They don't even want you to change oil, man. I changed my own oil.
Fuck that. I changed my oil. Keep my fluids changed up, man. That's like the blood to the body, man. If you don't fucking clean it out, filter it out, you're gonna run rough. Yeah.
And before we go, let's hit some sports right quick, man.
Oh man, what the hell? Did Boston blow that or what, man?
Yeah,
did Boston blow that shit or what, man?
They blew it, man.
I know Philly wasn't going to get it, but come on, Boston.
Yeah,
come on, Boston, man.
And I don't know if you've been watching. We've been taking it's a pretty good brand of ball. They need a bigger crowd. I've been watching the USFL. I mean, they play all right. I mean, I wish they had a bigger crowd. They're all playing in Alabama, but the real exhibition or preseason starts, and I want to see or the Eagles are playing, or see how the Ravens do. I mean, it was the Eagles got to the playoffs last year, but my Ravens didn't.
Right. Yeah. You know what? We had a good draft pick. We had a good draft this year, my Eagles. We had a real good draft, man.
Yeah, we had my Ravens had a good draft, but I can't wait. Now you have the new team in your league, the Washington Commanders.
I'm not impressed.
that name, the Commanders, man. God, man, what?
That sounds like a USFL team. If you ask me.
Hey, the USFL, they play a pretty good brand of ball, though, man. I mean, the players are.
So tell me something. So all the Indian team names they had to drop the like. I know Cleveland's not the Cleveland Indians no more
You
for
know, the
baseball.
Cleveland Guardians.
What the fuck?
Yeah. All the Indian names have been changed. The Redskins are the Commanders, and yeah. Heck, they just changed out here. It used to be there's a school out here called Valparaiso. I forgot what they were. Now they changed into the Valparaiso Beacons. I'm like, it means the beacon of light. The Crusaders, that was the name. Anything that was offensive, the left made them change it.
Damn.
That's part of the cancel culture, bro. And in baseball, man, I don't know how the Phillies are doing, but they're in that league with Atlanta, Miami, and Washington, and the Mets. So
Florida. Well, Florida. Wait, no.
the
Wait,
Miami Marlins.
Oh, Miami. Okay. Damn, they changed up. They're not Florida Marlins no more. Huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, my Orioles are just doing real bad. I mean, they're in there with the Yankees, the Red Sox.
Wow.
Yeah, they terrible.
Shit. Damn. Hey, did Lamar sign? Did Lamar Jackson sign?
Not yet, but he's got to look. He's a good quarterback, but he got hurt last year. He's gonna have to produce here in 22, man. I don't want him to sign an outrageous contract like Joe Flacco did.
Yeah. Well, at least Joe Flacco went and got y'all a ring out of that contract.
Yeah, that's true. That's the last time.
He went and got y'all a ring out of that contract, man. Can't knock him for that.
And hey, look who got you all a ring, and he got released by the Bears. Nick Foles, man.
Get the fuck out of there. So he's a free agent?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody picked him up. Yeah.
You know, like I know, somebody better pick him up. He's worth he's worth his pickup.
He was playing for Jacksonville, then he went to Chicago, and
look, his best bet is come back home to Philly. Keep that bench warm. If we need you, nigga, we gonna use you. He's forever loved in Philly, man. He'll always have a spot in Philly, man.
But you know who Philly got to play twice, right?
Punk ass Cowboys.
You got to play the Cowboys. Well, we got to play Pittsburgh twice. The Cowboys, we got to play Pittsburgh.
Y'all might be all right for the next couple years because Pittsburgh's rebuilding, man. You know, Big Ben's out of there now.
Yeah, but Cincinnati is up there, man, with that boy. But
shit, yeah, damn, I keep forgetting, damn. And they came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, well, that's because the reason why Cincinnati always wins when the Ravens and the Steelers are off, because generally those two, I mean, Cleveland's never going to win that division. They got a debacle. They
looked promising that one year when they were in the playoffs, but that year, what's his name was with them? That fucker just won a ring with St. Louis, LA Rams.
Oh, he was with the Giants, Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Beckham, hey, they got rid of him, and guess what? Beckham went out there and won a ring.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, man.
Now I don't know who's going to win it in the NBA. Is it going to be Milwaukee or is it going to be Phoenix?
Wait. Milwaukee's done.
Milwaukee's done too? Who's left?
Milwaukee was playing Boston. Boston got them up out of here.
Oh, okay. So they should be in the semis. And
the Eastern Conference Finals is Boston and Miami right now.
Well,
and the Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Or is it Dallas?
Is Phoenix out of there too now? They got beat?
Yeah, Phoenix out of there. Yeah, Phoenix out of there. Who's that Luka Doncic guy? Was that Dallas or was that Denver?
I thought that was Dallas.
Yeah. But it's the Warriors and them. They're actually playing right now. Tonight.
All right, so we're gonna have the championship coming up.
Hey, look, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Warriors and the Heat. But them Warriors, man, they play like they want that shit again, man.
Yeah, because they were. I mean, Stephon Curry was off a few years. I know they beat Cleveland 3 out of 4 times. I mean,
Yeah.
they'd gone 5 in a row, and they lost to Toronto one time. They lost to Cleveland. So yeah, I think they want to taste it again. That's true. So
Yeah.
but look here, I'm about to sign it off about 10:30. But
Yes, sir.
I'm up here next Wednesday. It's good. Hey, good to hear from you, brother Matt.
Likewise, likewise. We finally getting some good fucking weather, man. It's time for me to do some traveling.
Heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah, man. But hey, I appreciate it, man, for you coming up, taking the time to come up on the panel, bro.
Yeah. So,
And we'll get into some more topics next week, man. Anything else you want to say?
nah, man. Just to the fellas out there, stay sucker free, man, and make your own decisions. Don't let nobody make them for you.
That's facts, man. That's facts. Well, all right then, my brother. And you know, you need something, we've talked behind the scenes. You got my phone number. Ring me up and we'll chit chat about it. A topic you want to hear, we'll put it up.
Yep.
Yep. And well, all right, my brother.
All right.
Salute, brother. And get yourself a good sleep, bro.
Yep. I holla.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right. Peace.
Peace. All right. Well, another hard-hitting show here on the 401 Talk Zone radio show. Let's get to the last of the poll. Has violence increased in America's cities and towns? Had a total of 38 votes. 87% said yes. 13% said no. Whether you answered yes or no in the poll, make sure when you go out, you're aware of your surroundings. There's people out there that should be in a mental institution. There's people out there that should be at home. But the real important issue is there are people out there who shouldn't be on social media, getting their influence off of social media and having a gun. And again, I just want to say shout out to everybody who participated on the panel and in the chat. But my final word for today or this evening, you know, with violence increasing, the weather is going to get warmer in some cities and towns. And wherever you are, trouble can find you at any time. My best suggestion is this. If you want to avoid trouble, number one, look at your surroundings. And number two, look at the individuals that you are interacting with. If you are a person who wants to grow and you're around people who don't want to grow, leave the situation immediately. Because if you're growing and they're not growing, jealousy will take place. And usually the person who is jealous is going to want what you have. And jealousy can come from anybody, your friend, your family. And when it comes to business, never do business with friends and family. And if you're in college, you make sure you question those professors as well. A lot of this information that's coming from these professors is rhetoric that is engulfed in delusional behavior. It's fantasy. It's to make you feel good. It's to make you react emotionally. And in the end, the truth is always going to set you free. I know it's unpleasant to deal with the truth, but real growth is from the truth. And a superior being that's always going to let you know about the truth is the Most High. If you look up to the Most High and have faith in the Most High, your life will be a lot easier. But you got to practice what you preach. You got to make sure that you are free of all the negativity. And in the end, the question you have to answer is, do you value your life? And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking for some educational content, check out my second channel, the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind of STEM channel. And on that channel, you're going to get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you cannot find me on YouTube, you can always find me on Twitter for the QCIS channel and the 401 Talk Zone radio show channel. Now, with the QCIS channel, I take it one step further. You could find me on LinkedIn, and I put the QCIS channel on LinkedIn because it is more educational and professional, and professionals need to see what STEM is: science, technology, engineering, and math. And on that channel, I'm performing construction field operations. I talk about industrial engineering, chemistry, entomology, and calculus. And also, I'm going to be back next Wednesday with some more content, educational content. And I'm going to be doing more news because you need to understand what's going on out in the real world. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this. Be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And some people do get offended by the content. Well, if it's you I'm not talking about, I'm going to tell you this. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. And once again, thank you for listening to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious evening. God bless you. I'm out.